is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, everybody. There we go. It is that time of the month again. Welcome to another episode of the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction Ending Watch Party. My name is Jeremy Lee. It is December the 19th, 2024. Let's bring out Mr. Adam Gray. Buddy, this is your night. This is the best night. What's going on?
It's your night. It's all of our nights. It's a great night. It's a great night for everybody. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling good. I'm excited for this. I got to tell you, man. You'll see. I put bids in on some of these cards tonight. I've been outbid on everything, and I'm probably out of the running. But oh my God, there are some cards here tonight that I'm in love with. Two in particular. Yeah. How about you?
Did you say two in particular? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Two in particular. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to guess throughout the auction which two they are. Should I guess publicly or should I guess via the private chat?
You'll be able to see when we scroll by because it has a nice big red outbid bar underneath them. So there's no secrets here tonight.
Well, I have a couple.
I can tell you. A very modern hockey card and a very vintage baseball card. Those are the two that I recall bidding on, but I think there might be more. I'm going to have to check. I'm going to have to scroll through and remember what else I put bids on. But how about you?
Well, I have a couple that I'm really interested in, but in the last week, I've gotten both of these cards right here in the mail, which has led me to be not the drain my bank account, Jeremy. So I don't know if I can.
Didn't know about the Duncan. I knew about the LeBron. I didn't know about the Duncan.
Yeah, that was actually a trade. The Timmy was, but anyway, yeah, it was a big week for me. They were my two biggest mail days of the whole year in back-to-back days.
Wow. Congrats, man. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun.
Thanks, dude.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, let's see what's going to happen here tonight. 77 items. And, I think only 6 are like non-sport. Only 6 are Pokemon. So it's going to be a good night. It's going to be fun going through all these cards. We've got a whole new batch of this or that's ready to go. We'll probably get to those towards the end. But let's say hello to Diamond Card Collector. Good evening. Tyson's Corner Cards. What's going on? Jacob Dahl. Linda's first son, Michael, is here. What's going on? Jeff Derrico. Laura, pleasure to see you. Yeah, right on, Jake. Aren't those nice cards that he's great cards at him? That's not every day you just see a couple of logo men. That's amazing stuff, guys. A reminder and a request: if you are bidding on anything in the auction tonight, please use the Sports Cards Live affiliate link. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat right now. Even if you just click on it for fun right now, you never know. Maybe you'll go bid later. You might forget to click it, so go click on it now. That's all you need to do. Even really would appreciate that. And gosh, Adam, it's gonna be fun. Jeremy M, what's going on? Sullivan Sports Cards. Thanks for the Clipper, Alberta. Hello from North Dakota. Yeah, there you go. Enjoy. Lantern Cards with us. As always, good to see you. All right, Adam, what's going on your phone there? You got some conversations on the go?
I just want to make sure I get the link out to everybody on my Instagram. Don't give me a hard time.
Did you hit go live on Instagram?
Yeah, I did.
If you are watching on Instagram, on my Instagram or Adam's, because this is streaming to both of our Instagram, up top there in the highlights, the stories. If you are watching on either of our Instagrams, feel free to come on over to YouTube where we can see your chat a lot easier and get you involved in the show. Dave, welcome to the show. Let's see some bidding, he says. And vintage, a lot of big BGS cards. Looking forward to some collectivist miracles. What's up, peeps? Good evening to you. All right. Well, Adam, what do you think? Let's just get into it, huh? Let's get into the screen share and start talking about these cards because there are some bangers tonight, guys, as mentioned, starting off with this Tom Brady 2010 National Treasures NFL Shield on-card auto, 1 of 1, BGS 9.5, $130,000 as we sit right now. Adam, I don't know if it gets any better than this for a Tom Brady card. Does it get any better than this?
It doesn't get a lot better than this if it gets better at all. It's fun that we have, where is he in here? Let's see. It's fun that we have Diamond Card Collector in here. He's the owner of the greatest Tom Brady collection in the world. And this is a very much a Diamond Card Collector or POC type collection or card for his collection. He recently bought another Shield autograph. It was at the very first of the Sotheby's Fanatics Collect auctions. And this card isn't that card because this one, the autograph didn't come out of the pack that way. But this one is about as close as it gets to that, because I'm going to tell you what, that spot right there for that Brady autograph, doesn't it look to you like that Brady autograph was designed to be there, Jeremy?
It really does. So that's news to me. You're saying that this is an in-person auto, and it makes sense because you have the BAS for Beckett Authentication Services on here versus a pack pulled auto. So
with that said, there's only a few of those pack pulled autographed Shields like in existence, and the one that Diamond Card Collector bought, I think it was close to $500,000. So now I've heard some rumblings as well recently, Jeremy. People say things like, I would actually rather have a card that was autographed in person as opposed to in a pack, because then you can know the story of who the collector was, who got it, and where it came from. And I don't want to comment on that. I've always sort of liked pack pulled autographs myself, but what I do know, this is as close to that as you can possibly get down to the point that I believe that autograph looks like it should be there. I really do. It looks like it's meant to be there.
It does. All that white space on the bottom, it looks complete with the autograph on there. And I don't mind this at all. And I don't know that I would probably prefer pack pull, just because you have that upper deck or Panini or Topps authenticity. But this is still really cool. This is still, it's really, and hey, Diamond here says right here, pack pulled would have made it better, but this is still an awesome card.
Awesome card.
Yeah, I think it's just, Todd, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
It's great. The autograph on there, it doesn't get any better than that. It's just gorgeous. On the back of the case, does it have an autograph grade? Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. It just looks exactly like you want to. It's numbered 1 of 1. The highlight of the patch is fantastic. The highlight of like the whole thing aesthetically is just gorgeous. And again, to your point, like, you looked at it and you never would have dreamt that the autograph wasn't there in the beginning, because it looks like it was designed that way. So I love it. It's one of my very favorite cards in the auction this month for sure.
Deservedly so. We have a Pokemon Illustrator with an autograph, and we have a OPG 79 Wayne Gretzky rookie card, PSA 9. You know we're going to look at this. Let's see how this guy looks right now. And I mean, it has some good things going for it, but it's got some issues. And you know how it is. I'm not going to pretend that it is what it isn't, this card. And so I'm going to give you my honest feedback on it here.
Let's hear it.
So I'm looking for the good things. The good things about this card are the corners. The top edge is beautiful. The top corners are both perfect. The left and the right edges are, exactly what you want. The perfect amount of rough cut to me. Same with the bottom. Bottom corners look really good, close to perfect as well. Edges and corners, perfect. So what does that leave us with? Really centering and surface. So let's talk about centering. It is off-centered to the left. It is it also has what I would call more than significant amount of tilt here. Could make it a little bit dizzy, this card. Look at the left and the right borders. The right border, look at the right border. It gets wider as you go up, and the left border gets wider as you come down. That's called tilt. The card is not, the image was not printed square on the card, so you have it's a centering issue. I call it tilt, as you guys all probably know by now. So, and this isn't slight. This is significant tilt. You can tell that this is a very old grade, So it was reslabbed into a newer lighthouse holder. So the centering is subpar, a very low on the 9 scale as far as centering goes. And really, I question if it should be a 9 with that amount of tilt. And then now we're going to look at the surface, and really, where we like to focus is registration and print defect and those sort of things. So first of all, I do notice it has a fisheye right there on the shoulder. This yellow spot on what is his left shoulder, the right shoulder to us, this is supposed to be there. If it's not there, you have a problem on an OPG. But this up here on what is his right shoulder, and we are looking at it on the left, is not supposed to be there. So that's an issue. And now let's just look at the overall registration of this card. And let's start at the bottom. And it's just problems everywhere with the registration here, guys. You can see a ton of white in between the blue border and the black line. And I say a ton because we are zoomed in, but it's easy to identify. It's right there. You see it coming down over here. If you're following my mouse, you see it on the inside of this curved black line here. You can see blue coming into the black over here. And then if you look at the bottom of his legs, you can see there is, that extra shadow coming off it that shouldn't be there. Also, look at this. When you zoom out and you look at this card, you see this white border that goes all the way around the images, and it has a thin black line on either side of it. Well, on the left side of the card, you can see the blue is coming into the white. On the right side of the card, you can see that some of this image from the background, from the crowd here, is coming into the white bar there. I mean, these are all issues that I don't know if I don't know how PSA approaches these things, but to me, it's an eye appeal issue, and it's a significant eye appeal issue. We have some comments. Let's just see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Peep says it's a generous 9. I think that goes without saying that this would not be a 9 today. Todd calls the tilt distracting. CRT says, I think they think they tilted that 6 to a 9. What's up, Justin Bode? Justin says it's a 7 all day. Yitz, welcome to the show, buddy. So, I mean, listen, this is one of these cards that this should sell at the bottom end of the 9 scale. It should sell. We should not see a 9 sell for less than this one, is my personal opinion. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, it's sitting at $75,000, which is $90,000 out the door. If this was an 8, it's going to sell for about $13,000, $14,000. And I think this is about an 8. I don't even know if this is an 8 with that tilt. So, yeah, do with it what you will. Vintage says, buy the grade, not the card. Yeah, this is a case for those. This is a great opportunity for the set registry people who just want that grade to compete. Here's a great opportunity to save yourself, maybe a couple, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, I would think. Ben Burrows says that this exact example sold for $193,200 back in 2021. My goodness. Yes, I remember those days well, Ben. And Justin, $90K. Cool, don't do it. Yeah. I mean, listen, we've seen uglier Gretzky's, but not in PSA 9 holders, that's for sure. Okay. Adam, what do you think?
Well, I love to hear you break it down. The thing that I like that you said, you went with the sort of what ended up being the positive stuff first, as you diagnose the card. You look at the edges and corners and you go, these about look like what I want them to look like. These are really, really nice edges and corners. And then you go through all the stuff that's like, this isn't great for this card. In fact, you certainly agree with Fanatics Collect's Fanatics Collect's eye appeal designation here that there is none, right? It's clearly in the lower half of all 9s. And the thing that I always point this out, so many people who are collecting these are competing on what, Jeremy? They're competing on the registry. And so that may not be how you or I collect, but so many people want to get the very best deal that they can to get their spot on the registry. And I can tell you this much, very few people are getting that 10 on the registry because there are 2 10s in the world. So if you want the next best thing and you want to get it for maybe the best deal that's out there, this might be it. And as our buddy Ben said, it's the same card sold for $193,000 3 years ago. So is it going to sell for $193,000 tonight? Probably not. But
don't let that sway you whatsoever. What it sold for back in 2021. Those were different times, and
they were different times. But if you have to have a 9, if that's your goal, this might be your chance to get it at the very best price you're gonna ever have the chance to get it at.
Yeah, a couple other things to point out really quick here. If you look at the back of the card, I was just sort of looking at this area here on the edge. It looks like it's got a bit of an indent over there, something going on. If I just bring it back over to here, guys, right over here, there are some issues on the back. This doesn't look perfect, like a perfect edge to me. I'm seeing some of it over here as well. And then if you go to the front of the card where that would be, and you can see right over here, there is something going on over here as well. So I might have to retract what I said about that left edge being perfect because I don't think it is anymore. But, but as David G points out here, it does have these thin blue lines, which you can see right here. And you can see it up here as well. Those are, some people call it first print. There's never been evidence of that. I just call it blue lines present because there are people who will pay a premium for that. And if I'm selling the cards, I'm willing to take that money from those people all day long when they're willing to pay that premium. But hey, some people like it, and that's great. So there you go. I think you said it well, Adam. This is a great card for the PSA set registry competitors, and you should do well with this one, adding it to your set. Okay, let's keep on. Let's mosey on here, Adam. We've got a Michael Jordan Emblems of Endorsements from 2004 Exquisite at 42,000 BGS 8. And Adam, I'm just going to put this over to you right now. Well, actually, let's open this up and take a quick peek at the auto, at the memorabilia. Oh, you do have two colors right here on the left-hand patch. One color on the right. Autograph looks really good. It's numbered 1 of 10. I love that. Nice looking card. It's an 8 with a 10 auto. Adam, why don't you tell us a bit about this 04 Exquisite Jordan piece?
So for the people who are not Exquisite collectors or people who know about the whole history of Exquisite, there's like 5 or 6 insert sets. And there's this argument that goes on amongst the big time collectors, which is the best of the insert sets. There's the number pieces, and then there's the emblems of endorsement. Those are the two that sort of get the most votes. Well, as you know, Jeremy, the number pieces are serial numbered to the player's jersey number. So sometimes that's a really low number. It can be as low as number 1 and as high as 99 or whatever. But the emblems of endorsement gets a lot of love because every year it was ever produced, it was super rare. The first year it came out in 2003, it was numbered to 15. Now, if you think about it, you'll think back, like, when was the last time I saw Jordan? When was the last time I saw Kobe? When was the last time I saw LeBron? You almost never see those cards sell. You see them so much less than like the notable name or noble nameplates that are like out of 25. It's actually shocking how little you see them. Even though 15 is not that much less than 25, you never see them. This year, the very next year, is even rarer. Now, it's worth nowhere near what the 03 is worth. I'm not exactly sure why, with it being so much rarer, but it's a beautiful card in hand with great amounts of holofoil all around the window. The autograph here is ideal. You point out that the patches are subpar, but on a lot of these Exquisite insert sets, you're not actually looking for as many colors as you can get. You're actually looking just as much as the autograph. And so, it's not, I think if we were to see, you remember what we saw the number pieces sell for in a PSA 9 with 10 auto recently, sold for about $500,000. I think if we were to see a really incredible emblems of endorsement from 03 sell, it could even go way past that. But this is the next year, and so in the middle of this Exquisite insanity that we're sort of seeing over the course of the last few months, it'll be interesting to see what it does tonight.
It will be. Cool card. Like you said, I don't recall seeing it before I saw this one in this auction. We have a 2014 Flawless Emerald Tom Brady auto patch BGS 9.5 with a very nice auto. You can tell it's a smaller auto than what we had on the Shield from earlier on, but I really like this patch, sort of I don't know what you call it, the tail coming off the Patriots head. Really nice colors in there. $42,000 right now. The card grades a 9.5. The autograph grades a 9 for some reason. And now I'm curious to see how Beckett, why they decided to penalize this auto to a 9, Adam. And I mean, it doesn't Well, I don't know why they did that. Maybe gets a little lighter down on the bottom of the Y here or something. Tough to understand the autograph grading game.
You never know.
What's that?
You never know. I do think the patches sure a nice one though. What do you think of the patch?
I love the patch. This is as, I don't know if it's as good as you can get, but 3 colors, unique, really like it. You've got 2 areas of blue, 2 areas of red. It's a great looking card. Really nice. And a Connor McDavid 2015 Cup rookie patch auto, numbered at a 99. This is his best rookie card. It's a BGS 9 mint condition. You have 8.5 corners, but 9.5 surface and edges. Let's get a look at this patch and auto. This is a big card, guys. So there's the patch. It has orange on the far right side. You can see 2 spots of it, and I'm sure under this silver flap as well. Autograph looks really good. The one design mistake Upper Deck made was putting autographed rookie patch text underneath there. It would look so much cleaner if it just had the auto. Doesn't matter. This is the one and only Connor McDavid, the Cup rookie patch auto out of 99. Do we have a grade on the autograph? We do. The autograph grade's out of 10. And again, the card is a mint 9. Very strong for a thick card like this. We're at $50,000 as we sit right now. 60,000 out the door. Adam, what do you think about the Connor?
Man, I defer to you on this one. You're the expert. I agree. Well, I concur with everything you said.
It's a great card. I can tell you that Upper Deck did put out an image of all 99 copies of this card, so you know what the patches look like.
That's so cool.
For all 99. I think all but 3 are 3 colors, so this is a 3 color. But this one has, the least amount of orange that I recall seeing on any of the other ones. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing because there is orange on there, and to me, that's good. Like it does help the eye appeal for me. So
you're saying you don't like orange on the card?
I do like orange on this card.
You do. So why did you say it's not a bad thing to have less orange on it? Teach me on that.
Oh, well, I'm just saying that, okay, it would be, I think that people would attribute more value to this. Let's just get a look at it. I think people would attribute more value to this card if there was more orange on here. But what I'm saying is that this could be an opportunity to get into a 3-color Connor McDavid Cup RPA for maybe a bit of a discount if people aren't attributing as much value to this as they would.
Color.
I see. So many of the other copies out of 99 have more orange. This still has orange and 2 different segments of it. So I really like it for what might be a good price. That's all I'm saying.
Got it.
That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
All right, next row, we have, there's a nice Michael Jordan on the far right, the Exquisite Collection patches from 03, the first year of Exquisite. We have a Prism Gold Jason Tatum rookie out of 10. These are big cards, rookie cards for players. And we have a Panini Contenders Patrick Mahomes rookie auto, PSA 10 in the middle here. Adam, you and I have been talking about Prism Golds ever since, we've known each other, ever since we've been doing this show together, coming up on 4 years now. And I just want to ask you this. I want to ask you kind of from scratch here. Are Prism Gold rookie cards, are they still as iconic as I feel they were a couple years ago or even a year ago? Are they still kind of leading the pack for a lot of the modern basketball?
There are certainly still a lot of people who feel like it's the main chase every year for their key rookie. Let's say your favorite team is, let's say it's the Spurs. Whoever the Spurs rookie is that year, if you're a big Spurs collector, there's a really good chance that the gold prism's like the card that you want to get. And so this Tatum, the question that I would ask you is how many gold rookies since the beginning of Prism in 2012 would you rather have than the Jason Tatum? I kind of feel, I wrote this on my Instagram, I think yesterday. Jason Tatum's sort of hiding in plain sight to me is like potentially the guy that's going to be like really the guy of this era. He's the right position. He's the right type of player, right? Super athletic, good on both sides of the ball. He's just won a championship. He won a championship earlier than like almost all of the all-time great wings, right? Some people think, oh, he said the wrong things after winning the championship. He acted a little bit corny, but like those are the knocks on him. The knocks aren't how good he is or what his character's like or what his team is like. Other than like Jokic and I don't know, like maybe other than Jokic, I think this might be like maybe Wembanyama. Jokic and Wembanyama in the last 12 years. Jeremy, I'm not sure there's another gold prism I think I'd rather have of a rookie than this one.
Yeah. Well, $50,000 says that people are agreeing with you on that, I would think. I mean, that's still a lot of money. What do you and listen, I think they're cool. I really do like gold prisms. I also like gold optics. I like gold. I think a lot of people do. What are your thoughts on the Michael Jordan here? And this is okay. There's a similar thing here to the Connor McDavid right here with a little bit of orange in the corner. Look at this Michael Jordan here, guys. And you're going to see that there is white right there. There's a sliver of white. This, like to me, this is a legitimate 3-color patch. And to me, that's important. So I like it. It does have a bit of, I don't know if there's some issue here on the die cut for the patch window, but the card grade's a 9.5. The auto, let's see what the auto grades out here. Should be on the back. It grades out a 10. So Adam, your thoughts on this beautiful piece?
Well, I love that you're calling out that little bit of white on the side. I do think that matters. The main thing that I look at on this, Jeremy, the 03 exquisite and all the exquisite cards through the years, they've taken on this sort of the condition issues have more to do less with how they've sort of been handled. You know, they've all been in nice cases all along the way, but more about how they've been displayed. So I look at the color in the white to see if it's yellowed at all, and I look at the autograph to see how it's turned. And this one looks really, really nice. That's the thing that really stands out to me is it feels like this card has been properly stored. And I think that matters way, way more right now than it did 5 years ago. And 5 years from now, it's going to even matter way more than it does today. I really do. I think it'll be one of the most important things. This one displays really, really well.
Beautiful piece. No doubt about it right there. Let's close up Connor as well while we're doing some housekeeping here.
While you're doing that, you mind if I hit a couple of comments real quick?
Yeah, which ones?
So, you want to pull them up. That's right. The DJH says Luka over Tatum, and that is definitely right. Everybody sort of feels that way in the community, but it's really interesting, Jeremy, because Luka is older and he hasn't won as much. Actually, he's not older. He's about the same age. I don't know. He might be a little bit younger, but he hasn't won as much. In fact, Tatum beat him in the finals last year. And so I'm not sure why he's not more likable. And I personally, I don't think that story's written. When one guy's got a championship this young, I'm not so sure I wouldn't take Tatum over Luka, but I think most people probably would. Take Luka.
Thorson asks, why did I axe the beard? I'll tell you what, I had a lot of dudes telling me how good it looked, but the women in my life were not taking that same position. So I'm going to go with the women, not the dudes on that, Thorson, but I appreciate the concern. Vintage says, it's hard to pinpoint why Tatum isn't more likable. I'd also take Gold Luka and an SGA over him. There you go. Mollico in the house calling out Brady once, twice, and 3, and even 4 times now. And Tyson says Giannis easily over Tatum. Yeah, I mean, hey, they both have championships. Okay, let's keep on going here. We have a rookie debut patch, MLB rookie debut patch from Topps of Junior Caminero, 25,500, 101, PSA 9. These cards are all the rage, Adam. And I can see why. Here's a quick story. I went for lunch yesterday with a buddy of mine who I knew from the hobby, and I met him. We met in about 2012. We hung out for about 3 or 4 years, and then he got out of the hobby. We hooked up for lunch yesterday, and he starts telling me how he wants to open up this Topps Chrome update to look for the Paul Skeens debut patch. So I can just tell you that this MLB debut patch thing is bringing people back out of the woodwork right now. It really is.
It's one of the, people have given Topps a hard time for Fanatics, a hard time for some of the decisions. No one has given them a hard time for this. This is one of the coolest things that we've ever seen in sports cards. The idea that a guy is going to wear, in fact, Jeremy, if you zoom in really close on his right arm right there, you're going to see that patch staring back at you right at the bottom. Like, that is so cool that they, like, you have to go in order here. That Topps figured out a way to get the MLB to agree with this. That all of the guys that are starting for their opening debut game, they wear this patch. Topps gets the patch back, then takes an image from the game, puts it on the card, has the patch added. Then the player holds the card in his hand and signs it, and they number it 1 of 1, and it goes into a product. Like, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in cards. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I think it's so cool, and I'm so jealous it's not a thing in basketball, because I want that in basketball. Yet.
Yeah, vintage right here says wait until NFL and NBA debut patches hit. Right, exactly, vintage. Yeah, I think they're awesome too, and I hope that Upper Deck does something similar with hockey, but we'll see if they can do that. Okay, we have a Josh Allen National Treasures RPA. I mean, he's having a season right now, isn't he? This guy, BGS 9.5. Look at tonight. The theme is I'll call it like weak 3-color patches, because this one, it does have, you've got the white and the red, and then you got some blue or black thread poking out the edge, poking right into the patch window from the right side here. A legitimate 3-color patch, 83 and 99. Great looking auto on that as well. Let's have a look and see how the auto grades. It does grade a 10, 17,500 on the Josh Allen. Great card. And then you can see I was a bidder on this Connor McDavid 2015 Fleer Showcase PMG Green. This is in a BGS 8.5 holder. Only 10 copies of this card were produced. And I think this is it's a beautiful Connor McDavid rookie. I love the color. I love the green with the orange with the blue on this, Adam. I just think that this card presents so well. I used to have the blue PMG of this. I sold it here on the PWCC or Fanatics platform about a year ago. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and boy, would I like to take some of that money and put it into this card, but I'm just out of the running here at $19,000, especially with how weak our Canadian dollar is right now. It's just getting worse and worse, but an amazing card here. I'm going to be very happy for the new owner of it. There's only 10 of these, and 8.5 is a pretty strong grade. Adam, any comments on Josh Allen or the McDavid PMG Green?
No, I think you hit him perfectly.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Happy holidays, Studio Sports. DJH, Jacob Dahl, are those MLB pat? Yes, they are game. They are definitely game worn, Jake Dahl, as Adam explained. They're in the picture. Yes, they are. Linda's first. Upper Deck did a similar thing with the NHL and NHLPA during the rookie showcase, except those couldn't have been game used. So that's different, but similar. I hear you. Oh, yeah, more of a photo shoot. You say it right there. And Thorson says the debut patches need to be living set-esque. I want the design to be consistent across all sports and stay the same for years to come. I think the mortality of that card can be enhanced with longevity. I think that's a great idea right there, actually, Adam. What do you think of that, what Thorson is saying here? For these debut patches, keep them the same, at least extremely similar, which shouldn't be hard because a lot of cards look the same year after year anyway these days. So, like, I can't tell the difference between a Panini Prism year to year. They all look the same to me. But I like that idea. A living set-esque makes sense to me, consistent between the leagues. I don't know if they'll end up doing that, but I don't mind the idea. What do you think of that idea, Adam?
I think anything that makes something feel similar to the other sports, if that's what we're saying, I think that that's a really great thing because it adds a level of comparability, and we love comparability, right? We love saying, hey, there's this PMG in football, but here's what it looks like in baseball, and here's where it is in basketball. We love it when that happens. It doesn't happen very much, but I think you're probably right that they're going to do everything they can in their power to get that with both NFL and NBA, and there will certainly, if they're able to do it, then I think there certainly will be commonalities between the three.
All right. A couple of Patrick Mahomes here in the next row. We've got the National Treasures photo, black photo. I don't know. Photo. That's a new one for me, Adam, seeing the word photo in one of these titles. Do you know what that's all about? I'm
photo
curious
black.
now.
Maybe check this. Maybe check the slab. It seems like
photo
something.
Shoot material SIGs. It says on there. So
I think it might be. So here's what I think it is. It's not. It looks very similar to the base card, but it's not the base card. It's an insert, as you can see by how it's numbered on the back.
Yeah.
PM is Patrick Mahomes. What's the letters before PM?
Rookie Material Showcase, probably RMS.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Which rookie photo shoot materials. In any event, it's a pretty card. It's not game used, but it's a very nice looking card. Great patch. The autograph is actually quite amazing on it.
It really is.
Yeah, what's this? Let's just close some of these old windows up. Let's go back here. Okay. Yeah, really nice looking card, in my opinion. $19,500.
This is one of those that you'd have a hard time explaining to somebody who's not a card collector. This card and the rookie card, like from the base set rookie card, that have a similar patch like this, they're not even worth anything close to each other. The one from the base set would be selling for like something like 10 times this amount or 20 times this amount. But because it's from an insert set, it sells for such a discount. And I've always thought, if you're a big Mahomes guy or a big collector of any player, this is the sort of card where most people can't go out and afford a $300,000 card or a $250,000 card or whatever it is.
No,
this one you might be able to, So I always like that as sort of an alternative.
Oh, it's news to me that not everybody can afford $300,000.
Stop.
2017 Panini Prism Red Mahomes BGS 9.5. See this. I love the looks of this. I just think this is beautiful. Not numbered, $18,000. So is this it's not numbered, which I'm sort of surprised, like just that it isn't, because $18,000. This must be very rare. I'm curious if anyone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the pack odds are, but what I do like is the color match is very nice. Color match is growing on me more than it ever has in the past. So just put that out there. Like that card. And then we have a one piece. Promos, Cato, textured P23, second place, STO4003, BGS 10 pristine, pop 9 for $12,000. It's a retail SSP, says Nate. Thank you very much, Nate. Appreciate that. Adam, comments on Patrick Mahomes at all?
Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm just checking the pop report on that, because that really is the story, right? Like if we can just know what the actual number is, that's what's going to tell. So I'll come back to me in a minute and I'll give you some detail on that.
All right, let's do that. Let's go to the next row. Another Michael Jordan, emblems of endorsements. This one's out of 15. It's from 2006, to contrast it from the one we saw earlier that was out of 10. Nice looking card here. Let's have a look at this, Adam. The autograph grade's a 10. The card is slabbed as authentic. Nice two-color patch on each side. It'd be nice if there was some red in there, but that's okay. Great looking auto. I mean, the auto is just fantastic. Absolutely perfect. No issues whatsoever. Adam, what do you think of this design? What do you think of this card? It's not one I've seen a lot of. Same with the other emblems of endorsement tonight.
2006 is thought of by many exquisite collectors as maybe the least good year in terms of its designs. And so this is probably like one of the least recognizable. With that said, it's the same print run as that first year that I told you is this huge, huge card. And I've seen it in person, and there's some things to love about it that are different, that are unique, that I personally really like. You might not have noticed it, but really zone in on that top right corner of the card, or top right quadrant, that looks like it's just marbling. But if you look real close, what you're going to see is there's like this embossed emblems of endorsement. And that's not something that you probably even notice. But when you get it in hand, you go, well, that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. So every year of Exquisite has stuff like that when you get it in hand, you go, oh my goodness, this is really cool. Combine that with that serial number that's in holofoil, two really nice patches, really limited print run. And although it's maybe, it's nothing close to 2003, and I personally don't think it's close to 2004, it is still a huge, huge Jordan, and one that you might not see again for a couple years.
Really cool card right there, guys. We have a quad auto, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Larry Bird, 2004 SP signature. It is a PSA 8 on the card, 9 on the autos. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at the autographs here. And I can't tell. Is this on card, Adam?
Yeah, it's blue on gold foil. You might want to try the 360 on this. That might give you a little bit more good details. And if you're going to pull that up, let me just tell you, I found I found that red Mahomes, just 16 graded by Beckett. And this is back in 2020 when a lot of stuff was getting, it was graded in 2020, obviously made 3 years before that. Most of these cards, or a lot of these cards, were originally graded by Beckett. And the fact that only 16 have been graded, only 6 or 9 5s, that explains why it's as expensive as it is, Jeremy.
Pretty cool. Okay. 2018 Kaboom Gold, Jason Tatum out of 10. So listen, we just saw the Prism Gold out of 10. Now we're seeing the Kaboom Gold out of 10. Which is the hobby preferring these days, the Kaboom or the Prism? 18,000 here on the Prism, and what, 50,000 on the Prism up here. 50 on the Prism, 18 on the Kaboom. Okay, so obviously the Prism is the one that the hobby is favoring by quite a bit still, Adam. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I would really like the gold Prism if it was me. But there's a contingent in our hobby right now that is so strong on Kabooms, especially numbered Kabooms and gold Kabooms. And this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first year that we ever got gold Kabooms. And so we've seen guys that are not common, but like more common players sell for really big amounts of money. The thing that I think is a little interesting, and you wouldn't think of this unless you're a basketball guy, Jeremy, it says 2018 and it has a rookie emblem, but Jason Tatum is a rookie in 2017-18. And the gold Kabooms that year, they weren't like in basketball. They were like a multi-sport product. So I kind of wonder if everybody views this as a rookie card. I'm not really sure. I don't know. What I know is it's really cool looking. It's amazing looking in hand. And although it's not the Prism Gold rookie, it's probably the closest thing that there is to it in terms of popularity.
Yeah, the fact that Panini put RC on there when all of his other rookie cards are from 2017, the 2017 product calendar year, and this is 2018. I don't know. I'm calling some hanky panky on that on the part of Panini for putting that on there like that. That seems misleading.
Now here's what's weird though, is like a lot of 2017-18 products come out in 2018. In fact, some of them come out in close to 2019. So
yeah, I know, but it comes down to what is the year on the product itself, not when it came out, because we've seen delays and all that. To me, it comes down to what was the intention of the product. Is this a 2017-18 product or a 2018-19 product?
And this, let me clarify. That's why I brought up the multi-sport nature of it. Where basketball has always had a dash in between the two, especially for Beckett, 2017-18, where this is a multi-sport product. You got baseball cards and football cards, all these other sports in there. I think there's not a rookie class that's earlier for basketball in this product. They don't have, well, I don't think that Luka has a gold Prism or a gold card in here. If he does, then I'm with you. There's no way Luka can have a rookie the same year that Jason Tatum does. But chat, if you guys know if there's any basketball rookies from 2018-19 in this same product, I'd love to hear that, because I don't know that off the top of my head.
1986 Fleer, Michael Jordan, BGS 9.5 rookie card. And I did look at this earlier. This looks to me to be a really nice copy. I mean, it's not perfectly centered, but it is well centered. Corners and edges look to be really nice overall. Now, and there's also, I believe there's a PSA 9 in the auction as well. Or maybe there's a BGS 9 as well. We'll come back to that. But this is a nice BGS 9.5 copy of the 86 Fleer. We have the Chronology Gold Jordan Auto from 2007. Let's take a look at the auto on this one. And it's in silver. Looks good. You see, he got a little streaky between this stroke and over here, but this is a canvas card. I like, though, it's interesting that he didn't go over himself here, but he did on the legs, but not on the torso. Interesting strategy there by MJ himself. It's a BGS 9 on the card, 10 on the auto. These are gorgeous, Adam. How do you feel about the Chronology Jordan and this image? Look at him. I mean, he's about to dunk. the guy's been flying through the air so long. He just had a cup of coffee as he was on his way to the rim. What do you think of this piece?
I love this set so much. This is a little nuancy thing, but if you look at the back of the card, it's different from the silvers in that the back just has this gold color to it. And I know that people are like, that doesn't matter. But when you've seen enough silvers over the years to see the gold that's on the back there, see the color of the card is just in gold. It's like a silver on the other ones. It just stands out to me. But the whole of the chronology card is beautiful. It really is. It's so beautiful that Panini straight up, like with the 1-in-1 signatures, just straight up basically said, we're going to do the same set because people loved it so much. The autograph here, I'm glad you called it out. It's got a 10 autograph grade. I probably wouldn't have given this 10 autograph grade if it was me. It's got enough sort of like skips in it. But the thing about it is that it's just so nice, like the long pen strokes, the length of the card. I love how you call out how the autograph just sort of naturally skips over MJ. It's glorious. Again, I probably wouldn't have given it a 10 autograph, but I'm not the expert. Beckett is, and they gave it a 10.
And then we have a 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth, number 181, the green background, PSA 5. You can see I put in a couple bids on that earlier on. We're up to $21,000.
I knew it. I knew that was the vintage card you were talking about. I knew it.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I thought to myself, I'll bet it's the roof.
Oh, what a great look. You know what I love about this copy? I mean, listen, it's a 5, and I think it's fairly graded. But what I love about it is just the image, like his head, his body, even the writing of his name here. It's like the ink is just so strong and bold. It like at first glance, I look to myself and I say, okay, wait, there's a bit of a problem with the registration because this yellow stripe comes way up above the green, but I don't see any issues of any registration issues except for that. And I can get over that. It's not perfectly centered. That's okay. I mean, hardly any of these are. I just think it's an absolutely stunning copy from a aesthetic and eye appeal, a color. This thing just pops. I mean, look at it. Looks like he's coming off the card here. Maybe the nicest striked copy of this card I've ever seen. And it's a 5. So you're not paying, 7 or 8 money on this. You're going to pay, 5 money. And that's $21,000 right now. I absolutely love this copy. And listen, I love this copy so much. Of the 4 Babe Ruths from 1933 Gaudy, this is the one that I like the least. But this particular copy has me changing my tune. I think this one has now gone and jumped the red portrait into 3rd place for me. And I'd like to get a copy of it. This copy here has had this exact copy has had an influence on me. Adam, what do you want to say?
People always talk about the 33 Gaudy, and they always take this conversation to like, what do you like the most? And then it becomes, what do you like the least? And I hear people say all the time, I don't like the one where he looks old. He just looks old. Well, guess what? In 1933, he's right at the end of his career. I think he stops playing in 34. If I'm right, 34, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I could be way wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I like it because if what I'm saying is true, it's more of like a playing days sort of Ruth. You're not seeing him as a youngster. You're seeing him as he was at that moment. And so my question for you, and we might get to this in the this or that, but there's also an American Caramel Babe Ruth. What's funny is I call caramel in day-to-day, but when I refer to the baseball set, I call it caramel. Isn't that funny? There's an American Caramel Babe Ruth, and there's this one. You've got to choose one of the two. I assume you're taking this one. Is that right?
Oh, I probably am. I got to see the American Caramel first, but I really love this Babe Ruth. This particular copy. It's a recent grade, fresh slab. My gosh, I saw someone said something. Someone I saw today, someone referred to as like freshly graded, and someone's like, well, it's not a gallon of milk. What do you mean freshly? But I love this card. I mean, this would be, oh my God, I would, yeah, this would be,
it's gorgeous.
This would be the pickup of the year. Well, it would be the second best pickup of the year for me if I could grab a card, like if I was able to grab this one tonight. I love it, guys. I love it. I'm outbid. I'm out of the bidding now, but congrats to whoever ends up picking it up. Quick hello to Jordan Riker. Lets us know that Luka does have a 2018 Kaboom, but it was from Crown Royal, not the Panini Rewards Kaboom packs that the Tatum was from. There were no gold Kabooms in the Crown Royal set, only the Panini Kaboom set. So it's That explains a lot. Thank you, Jordan. Terry Brown wants to know, what are your thoughts on a grading company that goes to 11? The first Jordan Fleer graded 11 would sell for a lot. Probably not, Terry Brown. That reminds me of BCCG. Like, you've got to be I just don't know. I don't know that it would be unless it's PSA that goes to 11, and they're not going to do that. Mr. Manos, welcome to the show. Okay, let's keep on rolling, Adam. Bowman Chrome Refractor LeBron James rookie card 03, numbered out of 300. This is a PSA 10, and that's a really nice rookie card. Only 300 copies on that one. On the other side, we've got the Mark Jackson PMG green and a PSA 5 at $6,000, and in the middle is a gold vinyl Lamar Jackson rookie out of 5, PSA 9 pop 1, 2 graded higher. I say that like the Prisms look the same year after year to me, but they all look good. Like they pretty much all look good. There's a couple that I don't like as much, but they generally design a pretty nice card. Back to LeBron for a moment, Adam, because this is only 300 copies. I mean, that's down there with the Bowman Chrome X-Fractor that's out of like 220 or something like that, right? Like is this card loved by you and your basketball card collecting crews, or is it does it play second fiddle to some of his others?
It's absolutely loved, but it definitely plays second fiddle, and I've never really been sure why. Maybe just because of the name, maybe because Bowman Chrome, which was really, I think it was called Bowman Draft Picks and Prospects, and it had regular cards, and it had gold cards, and it had chromes and chrome refractors and gold chrome refractors. But maybe because it had all of that stuff going on in it, it isn't loved as much. Or maybe it's just because basketball has never been thought of as a Bowman sort of product. I don't know, but I'll tell you this much, Jeremy. I've said this forever. I personally think that's a nicer looking card than the chrome refractor is. The Topps chrome refractor is. I do. I think it's a deeper refractor. There's something about it that's really nice. I love the rookie photo shoot, just LeBron standing there. It's a great image. And it is so much rarer than the chrome refractor is. Like just levels rarer. So much rarer. Kind of reminds me of our conversation about the Topps Finest. Was it last month or 2 months ago? Where I just said, this card is so much rare, I'll never understand. And I don't. I know that one's more iconic, but when the rarity is so much greater, I just think that should matter more than it apparently does.
It's a beautiful card. Nate says, keeping it real, I can't get down with the pose on the Bowman LeBron. Give me an action shot. I hear that. I think it's a beautiful card just aesthetically. Really nice. $15,500 as we sit right now on that one. Okay, guys, we're going to... We're almost an hour into the show, Adam. We've only been through the first page. We have 2 pages still to get through. So,
all right, my bad. I'll shut up.
I just want to look at this here, and we're just going to kind of skim through the whole page first. And I'm just going to call it Connor McDavid Gold Rookie Auto out of 24. Ellie De La Cruz Sapphire. I don't even know how to say that. Pata Paradicus 1 of 1. We've got the Sky's the Limit Warp Web Tech Kobe out of 25. That's a super rare card you just never see. John Elway, PMG Green, $30,000. We've got a Kylian Mbappe Gold Refractor, another Jordan Auto on the night here. We've got the Lamar Jackson NT Green, another Josh Allen NT Auto Patch Rookie. And then another card I had some bids on early is this Upper Deck Master Collection Wayne Gretzky Quad Patch Auto out of 9. These came out of the Master Collection, which was like $2,000 a box or a treasure chest almost back when they came out. And this is a grail Wayne Gretzky card right there. A beautiful Kobe Bryant Flawless Dual Patch Auto and another Lamar Jackson National Treasures Rookie NFL Tag Patch Auto 1 of 1. We've got a Justin Herbert Flawless RPA. We've got a Dual Shield Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Just amazing cards. A gorgeous Duke Snyder 49 Bowman PSA 8.5 with NBA Diamond and Superior Eye Appeal. That's maybe the best copy on the planet of his rookie card. You got a Contenders Mahomes Rookie Auto. You've got a Pelé Game Used Jersey for $2,200. How is a Pelé Game Used Jersey only $2,200 unless the Mears LOA is not respected? I'm not sure. That seems like it's about 1/100th of where I'd expect it to be, unless there's just a plethora of Pele game used jerseys floating around out there. I can't imagine that being the case. Kaboom, Herbert, a Giannis rookie card. We've got our first Shohei of the night, the red jersey, orange refractor out of 25, PSA 10, pop 8, immaculate RPA, Josh Allen. We've got a Jordan Star 101, BGS 7.5. That's on page 2. So now that we've gone through page 2, let's go in more detail, Adam, and we'll do page 3 after. I just wanted to make sure we got to see every card there. Oh, Thorson says right here, Paparadsha. It's a very rare pink jewel. Cool kids call it a papa. Okay, thank you for that, Thorson. I think I'm going to stick with what I call the Paparadicus or something like that.
We need to get Thorson on the show. He's hit us with 2 or 3 things tonight where I'm like, I don't know if he's telling the truth, but I sure didn't know that.
What's up, Brandon D. Bass, fishing suburban Chicagoland? Welcome to the show. All right, Adam, tell us about this Kobe Bryant Sky's the Limit Warp Tech out of 25, PSA 9, pop 3, none higher. Makes me think that this is a really big card.
Yeah, it's a huge card. I would say it's the best Kobe insert where Jordan's not in the set. So if Jordan was in this set, Kobe's probably a $100,000 card. And it's weird how that works. I will never understand why it works that way. But look, it's the year after Jordan's gone, right? So Jordan leaves in 98, 99. And as far as basketball card goes, we get some of the sets have him in 98, 99, most of them do. And then in 99, 2000, he's not in any of them. This Dominion, I think Dominion's in other sports too. Do they have Dominion in hockey, Jeremy?
Well, yeah, but it was a Panini Dominion. It wasn't Skybox.
Oh yeah, different. Okay, it's a totally different thing. It was like a $2 to $2.50 a pack product, 30 or 24 or 36 pack per box, like not a big deal. And then Sky's the Limit had 3 different variations. The easiest one was like 1 per box, and then the second easiest one was like this plus thing. It was like 1 in 10 boxes, and then 1 in like a zillion boxes. You'd get the Warp Tech Parallel. This is that. And so you don't even see the commons from the set ever. Like you don't ever see them. And Kobe's the best card in the set. Like I love this card. I just love this card. It's one of my favorite cards in the auction. I'm not a Kobe's 90s collector because I generally feel like if Jordan is in a set, that's Jordan's set, and Jordan is the best of it, right? But this is a Kobe set. Like this is his set. And then, from an aesthetics perspective, it's just gorgeous. It's all of Kobe doing this awesome pose. I love that the serial number is even different. I love the Warp Tech. I just love the card. I love it. It literally is one of my favorite cards that I've never owned. I would love to own this card.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I think it's awesome too. I'd love to see one in hand. This Ellie De La Cruz is really nice as well. I love the color combination. You've got a bit of a color match going on with this pad paradiscus color in the background, and then he's got some red on his sleeves and his helmet and his pants. Really cool looking. I just think it's a gorgeous card here. I really like this design, the 2024 Topps design as well. And then the Connor McDavid rookie gold spectrum auto. So this is a parallel to the RPA we saw on the first page, just without the patch. But rookie McDavid auto from the Cup out of 24. Really, really nice stuff. Brandon wants to know if you're going to be going for that Kobe, Adam.
I think I held this up at the beginning. I just bought this, and I'm poor. So, sorry.
So he is not. What's up, Found Treasures? Welcome to the show. Okay, let's go to the next row. We have the green PMG John Elway. That's a big card. 30,000 pop 2, none graded higher. It's a BGS 8. Those are, Adam, are you noticing anything? Because listen, you're a basketball guy, but you are learning as we go, I think, very quickly about key cards from other sports as well now. Where do you think the green PMGs fall in football relative to where they fall in basketball?
They're so huge. They're the cards in football as well from that era. The thing that's clear, Jeremy, is that BGS is just not as respected as much on these cards because we've seen sheet cuts out there and most of us aren't smart enough to tell. And so this is one where if you can get into a PSA holder, it's probably going to be worth a lot more money. That's just me being real. That's what I've noticed.
Okay. All right. Well, It's a great looking card. Well, actually, it's a great card, but I gotta say, he kind of looks a little out of shape in this picture. Something just doesn't look. It's not a flattering image of John Elway himself, but it's his green PMG, and that's what matters. Now, you just mentioned, Beckett slabs maybe not getting some respect. Big news out of Beckett though in the last couple of days. They've got new ownership. They just raised $250 million in financing. Question will be, how do they spend that money? Do they do it right? How much of that goes towards the grading business versus Southern Hobby and their supplies company? So we will see. But it's a cool card. And then we have the signature edition gold Michael Jordan auto here out of 10, Adam. Let's have a look at the autograph on this card. Looks really good so far. Yeah. So it's a 10 on the auto, 9.5 on the card. Great looking auto. It's basically perfect. And you do have the bonus 10 on the centering, Adam. So SP signature edition. How did these autographs appeal to the basketball collecting community in your opinion?
SP Signature Edition is one of these products. It was like a 1-pack per box product. It came in a tin, and you get one signature in every pack. The thing that I want you to do, if you can, real quick, Jeremy, I think most SP signatures are on sticker. But that one, I'm having a hard time seeing whether it's sticker or card. Can you zoom?
Yeah, it is sticker. I'm pretty certain I can see the outline of the sticker right here.
Yeah, you saw it. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
You love it when the sticker is so is made like that in a way where it takes you a sec. If it's going to be a sticker, you don't want to know it immediately, is what I sort of think about that. Look, it's a Jordan autograph. It's a sticker, but it's out of 10. It's in great condition. It's been well preserved. I think it's great looking. A lot of people are just going to skip by it because it's a sticker. But again, if you want to get a really rare Jordan, it's from that early-ish Bulls autographs days. And at this price level, you're going to have it at a sticker.
All right. Here we have the back-to-back NT RPAs of Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I mean, great patches on both of these cards. The Lamar is out of 8. And let's just take a quick look at it because the patch is spectacular. Unbelievable. Great looking auto. Card is slabbed authentic. We don't know why that is, but still a beautiful piece right there. And we didn't open up the Josh Allen is also very nice for the patch because you have several black, red, white, red, black, blue, tons of breaks, really nice autograph. BGS 9 with 10 centering as well on that one. Nice looking card. And then we got to have a look at this Gretzky closer than we did last time we skimmed by. These are just amazing cards. You've got a piece of his New York Rangers patch, a piece of the Edmonton Oilers, a piece of LA Kings, and a piece from the All-Star team. One of his All-Star games, 9 copies produced. This is the US version. It has the blue star on the bottom right corner. There's also a Canadian version that had a little red maple leaf on the bottom right. Someone made a comment about that here. Linda's First has made the comment. I'll let you guys read that for yourself. But this is a BGS 8, 9.5 centering, 8.5 surface, 8 edges and 8 corners. So it's a true mint, near mint to mint 8, but you're actually getting 4 bonus half grades on the subs. 4 bonus half grades, 3 on centering, 1 on surface. Just something to consider. The autograph looks great. These cards, guys, again, these are almost beyond grails in some cases to some people. These are big. What's this sitting at? $13,000. I mean, if this was the Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan Master Collection, a similar type of card with a similar bells and whistles at him, this would be a $500,000 card. I would have to think.
Doesn't exist in Master Collection. MJ doesn't have anything like that. I wish he did. What's the significance for Gretzky of the number 9?
Well, he wore number 99.
Okay, I knew that, but I wondered if there was something else. Not so
No,
much.
I think that they just made 9 of these. I don't know any more than that. Yeah.
Are you knowledgeable on the Master Collection and what can you tell us something about it? Because I know for basketball, there was the Lakers Master Collection. There was actually a couple Lakers Masters collections. And
this was the Gretzky Masters Collection.
Right. Okay. So tell us about it. Just
Gretzky is my understanding. Yeah, every card was Gretzky. You'd get a complete set of the base cards and they would be serially numbered. So you'd get the full set, all with the same serial number. And then you get a few extras. You get maybe you get a patch card. You get a couple autographs. They came in a wooden treasure chest looking thing. That's all I remember about it. I just know that they were tough to get. I mean, people, they weren't often broken up. They were kept full. They were kept complete. So the fact that there's singles floating around out there are the remnants of the few original, items that were broken up. So just awesome. This Kobe's beautiful. Like this Kobe, the Jordan and the Gretzky here and this Kobe they would sure look nice together in a collection. Adam, I love this Kobe card. You've got the patch under here from the letters on the jersey. You've got some other, some piping up here and the beautiful autograph. This is a gorgeous, flawless card. What are your thoughts on it?
I love this card. I've wanted one of these. Preferably, I would like the one that's the regular one that's out of 25. I've wanted one for years. I actually used to own the green to 5. I bought it raw, or not bought it. I traded a huge card for a bunch of stuff that it included that. And I sold it at the time for some stupid amount. I think I got like $3,500 for it or something after I graded it a 9.5. But look, even the one out of 20, you just never see the cards. You don't see them because it's the first year of Flawless. And as people try to predict what Kobe autographs are going to really matter over the years, they look at key brands in the first year of those brands and the iconic sets for those brands. Well, for Flawless, as far as autograph patches go, the dual patch auto is sort of the big time patch auto in Flawless. And this is where it started with this set right here, this Kobe right here. So it's the red, which I think, again, some people probably don't like the red as much as they like some of the other colors. The gold out of 10 is the nicest by far, in my opinion. But the fact that it's as nice of a patch as it is here, it's one of the original, like it is still one of the cards, even though it's red, and it's gem mint. Like it's a glorious card. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful card. Pokemon Doodle card over here. And then we have a 2018 National Treasures Red Lamar Jackson NFL tag patch auto. I mean, you're getting 3 NFL shields on this card. Sorry, 2, I should say. 2 shields on this card, top and the bottom. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a card with 2 NFL shields, even though these are laundry tag shields. Pretty much the best shield card you could get right here. Great auto, BGS 9. That's a really cool card. Sitting right now at $6,000, 28.5 on the Kobe Flawless, and Chansey, good old Chansey here at $9,500. All right, Flawless. Speaking of Flawless, here is a Flawless Emerald Justin Herbert rookie patch auto at a 5. Beautiful card. Let's have a quick peek at it. Want to check out that auto, which is graded at 10 and is beautiful. 2 4-color patches. Can't get much better than that. Only 3 copies produced. 12,500 on that right now. We've got the Blue Eyes White Dragon CGC 10 from 1999 Yu-Gi-Oh! And a dual NFL Shield Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, 1 of 1. Pretty cool. A couple of the young stud quarterbacks right now. So, tough to go wrong on that card. Under $10,000 right now, pre-buyer's premium. Linda's first son, Michael, here says that Gretzky's Master Collection had an 18-card base set, a 4-card game jersey set, an autograph card, and a mystery pack, which contained one of the cards that he mentioned above in the thread. Thank you for that. All right. Mahomes Contenders Ticket Auto, really nice card there. PSA 9. Again, we got to look at this Duke Snyder because this thing just might. I don't know if my good friend Chris Sewell has a division that this would fall into. He's got the Blazer division. I think he's got the Mamma Mia division. He's got a few of them. This is just perfect. It grades an 8.5. It's got the gold diamond from NBA. It's got the exceptional eye appeal from Fanatics Collect. The centering, the color, the edges, the corners. I mean, an amazing card. Absolutely wonderful for $11,000 right now. And then the Pelé jersey. And I saw earlier, someone did say they did a bit of research. Jacob Dahl did some research on the 70 Pelé. It was toward the end of international competition. Maybe that's just why it's low. I'm not an expert, just a guess. Well, thank you for doing some research onto that, Jacob. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Adam, Giannis, BGS 10 Black Label with the BGS 10 Black Label auto as well. Pop 3. That means there are 3 Black Label Giannis's from this card. It seems like a lot of Black Labels for a single card. Your thoughts on that? Your thoughts on this card, please.
A couple things. It's one of his only ultra high-end cards that's on card, and it includes the first full-length autograph. That's not shocking that it has the full-length autograph because he signed it so early, right? He signed it right after he was drafted at the NBA rookie photo shoot. There's a great story about a lady who the NBA hired to basically go with Giannis to the rookie photo shoot and to help her. I forget her name. I knew her name at one point. There's an article about her in BCF and an article about this card. So she helped him. And then at the end of their time together, because they spent like a ton of time together over the course of those few days at the rookie photo shoot, he handed her one of these cards, because you probably know this, the next day autographs, the players get a certain number of their own cards that are like their personal edition cards. And so her name's Maria. He hands it to her. He says, "Here, Maria, hold on to this. Someday this is going to be worth a lot of money."
He was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right. It's worth a lot of money. And so I love that it's his first autograph. I love that it's full length. I love that it has that story with Maria.
You said high end. This doesn't look like a high end card to me. Court Kings. It's a high end card.
All the next day autographs I consider high end. Specifically, like it starts at the beginning of National Treasures with Steph. That's one of Steph's best rookie cards. It doesn't look high end. It's not a high end production, but because it's early, because it's on card, because it's one of their first autographs, and because it's pretty rare, it's a very expensive card.
Yeah, well, it's a cool looking card. The auto grade's a 10. I do notice the auto is starting to bake a little bit, so I don't know that auto is still worthy of that auto grade. But hey, cool card nonetheless. And the Shohei Ohtani red jersey, orange refractor out of 25, pop 8 in this PSA 10 holder is sitting at $4,800. Another nice Josh Allen. This is the Immaculate Collection RPA. I love the looks of these. These to me are just gorgeous cards. Design, the foil, the auto on the acetate layer on top. Beautiful card right here at $4,800. And let's have a look at this. Star 101, Michael Jordan in a BGS 8.5 holder, subgrades, centering 7, kind of exactly what you want, maybe 7.5, but pretty good. And then corners 8.5, surface 8.5, edges 9.5. So we have a look. I mean, yeah, these cards should be off-centered. It might be a little bit lower than usual, like side left to right. It's actually well centered for the card. It's more off-centered top to bottom than what I'm used to seeing. Still a pretty nice copy overall, because you want this card off-centered. If it isn't, you got questions, I would say. So, Adam, what are your thoughts on this card in this grade?
You're always good at noticing the up and down. I never notice the up and down as quickly as you do. And then as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's way off up and down. Because left to right, this is one of the better copies that you'll ever see. Almost all of them have a little bit of tilt. I think this one does too. What do you think? Just a little bit of
minor counterclockwise.
Super minor. But, a lot of these, the corners and edges look pretty good because they sat in a bag for, a really, really long time. And then when they started to be worth a lot of money, people either pulled them out and put them into a nice penny sleeve and a nice holder, or they just left them in the bag. So it's not shocking to see them in as good a shape as they are. The other thing I'd add here, though, is this is one of the more recent graded ones, not like super recent, like not in the last year or two, but the sense that I have is this. I think I'd rather have a card graded in this era that's a 7.5 than a 7.5 that was graded maybe 5 years ahead of it, because I think they've gotten harder. So I like that when the centering's off top to bottom, because I don't notice it as much. I'd rather have it off top to bottom and have that grade than have it be really off side to side, because side to side, this one's probably top 25%. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, I agreed. Side to side is very nice. Top to bottom, I mean, I almost wonder if the centering of 7 is is that too high of a grade? Like you're worse than 90-10 here, top to bottom, you know? So, but maybe they really balance that out with a stronger side to side measurement on the card. All right, let's keep on Oh, look at that. We're at the bottom of page 2 now. Oh, that was good. That worked out. Okay, let's go to page 3, guys. Page 3. Look at this. This is what I was thinking about earlier. We have the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rookie PSA 9 in the middle, flanked on each side by mint 9 Michael Jordan rookies. One's a PSA slab, one's a BGS slab. The PSA slab is sitting at $11,500. The BGS slab is sitting at $8,500. That is $3,000 cheaper, and about a 25 or so % discount off the PSA 9. The BGS 9 does come with PWCC eye appeal above average, the top 30%. So what we're going to do with this card, guys, we're going to put these side by side, and let's just see who's bidding on this card tonight. Is it the grade simps? I'm going to use the word. I never really use the word simp, but I'm going to use it. Is it the grade simps, or is it the eye appeal people who just want a card that looks nice? So here's the PSA 9. Looks really good, actually. Really good for a 9. It's obviously off-center to the left, but just a bit, not too much. I don't see anything else wrong with this card. If anyone sees anything, let me know. Edges, corners, I mean, there's not a blemish on this thing for the edges and corners. Really nice copy. Actually, could this have been a 10? Because the centering is still well within 60-40 on the front. Maybe not well within, but I do believe it's still 60-40. This could have been graded higher. So I really like this PSA 9 on this Michael Jordan. Adam, I want to go look at the Beckett. Are you ready? Can I switch it up? I see.
Yeah, I agree with you. It looks good.
Here's the Beckett 9 now, also mint condition. Surface gets 8.5. The other 3 subs get 9. So it's going to be hard for us to really assess the surface. But let's look at the edges and corners. All look very good so far. Yeah, I mean, really strong. A little bit of fray on this one, but very, very strong. Slight registration issue that we did not see. No, this copy does not have the red. Where I'm noticing this, guys, if you look at this, look at the yellow, look at this yellow border here. Both of them, the top yellow border and the bottom. The bottom yellow border right under the black line, you see a sliver of yellow right up against the red. And on this yellow border here, you can see some of the image bleeding into the yellow bar. So that's a registration flaw, but it's pretty minor. It is there, though. Centering wise, this might be perfect. I mean, they give it a 9, but maybe it's the back, because this is perfect centering. I mean, am I missing, Adam? Like it might be off 1 or 2 points.
It looks really good to me. I don't. The one thing that I will point out, my Jordan rookie is also very nicely centered, and it has a centering grade of a 9, and it was graded by Beckett very early on. So, as this one was, look at that serial number, Jeremy. This card has been this holder for. It's not an old looking holder, but it's been in this holder for a long time. So maybe they're being a little bit harsher on it. Yeah, the back's not perfect, but I think that's 9.5 centering all day long.
This little thing does not seem to be on the card, this red thing, because you can see it come up above the border. So that I wouldn't worry too much about that. But yeah, the back is not perfectly centered, but still, I mean, it's the back. I can't imagine that brings it down to a 9. Although I'm just gonna I'm gonna say that this one is maybe undergraded as far as centering goes. That might not change the final grade. But listen, the PSA 9. So where were we? The PSA 9 has a little bit of a centering issue, while the BGS 9 has a little bit of a registration issue. Call it a wash, maybe give the nod to the PSA 9, in which case maybe the fact that it's selling for a bit more than the BGS 9 is warranted, because people generally do prefer. No, I have that backwards. The PSA is off center and the BGS 9 has the registration issue. So that just makes me think that the bidders might have this a little bit backwards tonight, guys. Now, I recognize that these cards do live in these plastic slabs, and there's a whole market attached to slabs. I get that. But in my opinion, I could see that, if you were to take these two cards out of their holders, I think the one on the right, the Beckett one, would sell for more than the one than the one in the PSA holder.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But the PSA slab, even though it's a very old slab, is going to likely outsell the Beckett, which tells me that this Beckett 9 is a good deal. There's value in the Beckett copy here versus the PSA copy tonight. But enough of those. Let's have a look at the Magic Johnson Larry Bird PSA 9 Topps rookie card. And the first thing I always look for is that little black dash down in the bottom right corner. Not on this card. I like that it's not there. And then I look for snow. I look for surface issues in the backgrounds of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in particular. I don't really see any snowy type of issues. And then centering's pretty good. It is off to the right. You can see that the Larry Bird side of the border is wider than the Magic Johnson. There is slight counterclockwise tilt. The perforations are very nicely lined up in between the panels, which I really like. I really like when those are down the middle. These ones are. It's a pretty good copy. I think it's a 9. I think it's a 9 all day, Adam. Corners and edges look great. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. The thing that I look for right away is the snow. So you mentioned the little line on the bottom. I look for the snow. I think that's probably because of you. How the perforations line up. A 9 on this card is like, we see it all the time because we cover the Premier, and I think people just sort of get used to it. We almost never see 10s. 8s don't make it into the Premier, so 9 sort of ends up being the one that we see. Getting a 9 on this card is like next to impossible. It really is. That's an amazing, amazing condition card right there. I've never owned a 9. I helped somebody sell a 9 once, but have you ever owned a 9 with this card?
No, I've had 2 8s in my life. I currently have that second copy.
Yeah, there's so many things that can go wrong with this card, and that's before the fact that the main advertisement for this card had the card being pulled apart on the perforations, right? Some huge percentage, I shouldn't say huge, some percentage of the cards got pulled apart. So
they did. Adam, I was breaking packs of this in the early 80s, and I was tearing them apart. I remember vividly in the back of my mother's station wagon opening packs of this stuff, chewing the gum and folding those things apart. So I'm part of the reason why these are rare.
And that's kind of like people who peel their Topps Finest cards today, right?
No, it's nothing. It's not even close to the same. Oh boy, we haven't had that debate in several months, have we?
It's been too long. It's been too long. Let's have it this time or next time, sometime soon.
Let's keep rolling here, guys. Another Josh Allen. This is the Panini Flawless Diamond number 10 of 10 and a PSA 10. This is a gorgeous card. I'm not a huge fan. We've seen diamond cards in hockey, in what was it, National Treasures maybe? I'm not even sure. This is a gorgeous card. It reminds me of a Color Blast a little bit. The horizontal white back. I know there's no Color Blast on here, but just the clean look of it. Great autograph placement, great design. What the execution on this card? Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Panini's designs over the years, but this one I would nominate as one of their better laid out designs.
Flawless is just fantastic. Flawless, where the main foil usage is holofoil, is just awesome. I will say it again. I've said it a million times. The only thing that I would change on these cards, the only thing is I want that serial number in holofoil. But people will start saying that they're just trying to be like Upper Deck when they do that. But I think that's the only thing that I would change about the card.
Hey, but that's a good, Hey, why not? If hey, it's not like these companies don't copy each other anyway. Why not change the color of your serial number or the foil? Is that the straw that's going to break the camel's back in terms of trying to be like them? I hear what you're saying. All right. Chronicles Prism Black Finite Justin Herbert 1 of 1 rookie card sitting at $6,250, BGS 8.5, and a PMG green Tiger Woods from 2021 Metal Universe. This is the 97 PMG tribute. retro, basically. A beautiful card. BGS 8.5 on this one. Let's take a quick peek at those subs and just see what's going on here. 6.5 on edges. So that's what's bringing this grade down, because you got 9.5 surface, 9 centering, 8.5 corners, but 6.5 edges. Well, let's see why. Top edge, 9.5, maybe 9. Right and left edges on the front, I mean, they're just good. Bottom edge looks good too. I could maybe see them grading the front edges an 8, maybe. What about the back? Is that, yeah, the back must be where the issues are. And oh yeah, look at that. All sorts of chip and dips going on the back of this card, guys. Look at that. Down the left side, the right side, the bottom. So it makes sense. The grade makes sense to me now that we look at the back. Still love the card. I'd much rather that those issues be on the back than on the front. Numbered 6 of 100, but it's really only out of 10. It's interesting that on this one, on this card, see, Fanatics Collect has maybe changed their approach. In the past, they would put 100 in the auction title when it said 100 on the back of the card. Now they're putting 10 on this one, which is good to see because it's just more important of a number.
It is.
$14,000. Great card, Adam. Any comments on that or the Herbert?
No, iconic set on the Tiger Green. And I guess I didn't know that the card existed. I don't know how many other PMGs Tiger has, but if I was a big golf collector, the research that I would do here would be how many Tiger Greens how many Tiger PMGs are there? How many greens are there? And then which ones look best? Which one's earliest? What are the competitive advantages from one to the next? Because there's a chance that's like one of the best Tiger cards, not like autographs or patches or anything, but there's a chance it's one of the best Tiger cards that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, he's got the employee PMG, which is purple, and you did say green, which, you know, I think is the right way to look at this. And I was going to say earlier, I don't know if this is his, I think it probably is his first one. And the other thing is that they're not going to do the retro version twice for him. So this would be the first green. They did it for the purple employee, but that was purple. I think this is his first, 97 style green PMG, and that's significant.
In our lifetimes, Tiger's right there, man. There's like Jordan, Gretzky, Tiger. Man, those are the names. Like, he's one of the all-time greats. And so if it really is one of his best cards, it's one of those that you sort of go, wonder what this one will do over the years. But I also don't know, with it being the the retro, I don't know if people will think about it the same as the years go past. We'll just have to see. All
right. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2013 Select Green Rookie out of 5, BGS 9.5, Pop 3, none higher. Like, this should be a beast of a card, Adam. No, I mean, it's really nice. It's green, not gold, but there's half of the amount of them in existence. It's Select, not Prism, but it's basically a sister brand. What is this card cheap right now? I mean, I know that Giannis isn't in the hobbies. He's not the hobby pet right now, like you have with some other players. But I mean, he's still a world champion. He's still one of the best in the league today. It's out of 5, 2013. What would this card have sold for at its peak?
God, a lot more. There's like 3 different things to talk about here. One is the Bucks are really good, right? They're playing really well. Maybe people aren't paying attention to that. Maybe people don't care. I don't know. They're playing really well right now. And now people are going, oh, maybe the Bucks have a chance this year, because they looked awful last year. And Jeremy, it has more to do sometimes with what have you done for me lately, and what are you going to do in the next 6 months? Is I think sort of how people think about it. I like Nate's comment here. I agree with him. The green on the borders, the Milwaukee jersey, like, that is just a beautiful looking card. And then the third thing that I was going to say is Select just isn't Prism. It's the same thing back in 2012. It's the same thing every year. Across comparable rarities, Prism is just multiples over Select. But aesthetically, man, I think that's a really pretty card. I really do.
I'm just looking at the clock here. We're down to 10 seconds and
ooh.
Well, we're now in the 1 minute extended bidding window.
Which means you never know. You never know. It would be early, but you never know when this thing ends.
So Nate loves the green. Jason Newman, Giannis market has been going down for a while, but it is seeing a nice uptick these past 2 weeks. Yeah, right. I mean, it just goes to show how fickle the hobby can be and how much value can be attributed to something for a very short term time period. And, I always talk about patience, don't be the first to buy that Connor Bedard Young Guns. You would have got, you're out thousands of dollars, you're out 80% of your cost that you could replace it with now. But there's the other side of that coin, which is we become more apprehensive to purchase cards when they're lower in value because it makes us think other people don't want them. So maybe we shouldn't want them as well. But that's when it pays to be a contrarian, especially with a player like Giannis, who could become like an all-time great. Is he a top 20 all-timer, Adam?
I don't have him at 20 yet. No, I think some people do, but I think most people who have him in the top 20 are more prisoners of the moment. Most people are prisoners of the moment. They don't really realize it. I really consider myself more of a historian. I've got some of the older guys in the top 10 that maybe a lot of people just don't think about. But of course, I think I'm right on that, right? Like I think I'm right. I think that people who don't have the older guys in the top 10, I think they're just prisoners of the moment. Giannis is like, he's not far from it. He's probably like 25 to 30. And if he keeps doing what he's done, yeah, he can get there. But he's got one ring. If he goes and he wins another ring, like if he wins one this year, you can throw him straight into the top 20, maybe even like top 16 or 17. Top 16 to 18, somewhere in there.
All right. Jordan Love, 2020 Select Jumbo Black Nike Swoosh, 1 of 1, $2,000. Pretty low for a Premier Auction item, but maybe there's room to go on that. And we have a big brown box, everybody. A big brown box with the numbers 85034 on it. You got some nice upper deck tape. But inside this big brown box is a case, a 6-box case, 1 pack per box of 2015, the Cup. This is the Connor McDavid rookie year. This is a great year of Cup. And I got to tell you, $15,250 feels cheap to me for these 6 packs. Because you're looking at about $1,000 a pack for just about any other year, and 2,000 something for the McDavid year. Well, maybe it's right. I'm not sure what comps are, but in any event, that's what that is. Your big brown box of the night, everybody. Oh, another big brown box. This is 2019 National Treasures basketball, possible Jaw, Zion, among others. 4-pack box, $3,000 a pack right now, plus buyer's premium. Adam, anything you'd like to say about either of these big brown boxes, but maybe the basketball NT is more up your alley?
I love the big brown box stuff. 2019 20 NT was right during the beginning of the COVID boom, right? It was those Zion rookies were just like gold, like more than gold. They're worth way more than their weight in gold. And now you look back and it's like, oh man, that guy has not become what we thought he was going to become. And so much of it has to do with the desire, and so much of it has to do with your public persona and how you're able to perform on the court. At this point, although he's had off-court troubles, Ja seems like the far more interesting person to me. And so, when I look at this case, I think, man, a Ja NT RPA, I start thinking, is the Ja Logo Man RPA ever appeared? The ones out of 5 appeared. I think about Ja at this point. I don't think so much about Zion anymore, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Zion will turn it back on and end up being the person we all thought he was going to be, but right now it sure doesn't seem like it.
All right. Well, in the middle here, we have a 4-count lot of 2018 Immaculate Kylian Mbappe. It's a complete rainbow. You're getting all 4 colors of the rainbow, the 1/1 platinum, the 7 of 10 gold, and 2 others. Were $4,500 on the Mbappe lot of 4. And then we have a CJ Stroud Panini Prism White Sparkle PSA 10 Pop 10. Really, this is a beautiful. Listen, I know there's a lot of parallels. I actually like the looks of this pair. Not that I say actually as if it's an exception. I like a lot of the looks of these of these stock patterns. Again, Prism often looks the same to me year to year, but this is a nice looking card. I like the white, Adam. I like the white. I like the sparkle. Nice looking CJ Stroud right here, in my opinion. Anything to add? Hello,
I
to
love
Josh
white
Perez,
sparkle.
Jason Newman. Okay, let's keep on
Jason
rolling.
Jason said Dirk or Giannis. It's definitely still Dirk. It might be Giannis at some point, but right now it's definitely still Dirk, in my opinion.
Adam, Karl Malone of your Utah Jazz. I'm just gonna. Oh, and Jaw Panini Prism Gold Shimmer, 10 of 10, PSA 9, authentic on the Karl Malone. I'm gonna zoom in on the Malone while you tell us about it at $32,000 right now.
So I was the high bidder at $25,000 to, I think his name is Jeremy, who asked me earlier or maybe it was Josh, who asked me earlier whether I was bidding. I was the high bidder at $25,000. I'm no longer the high bidder, and it's still. I was just going to grab it if I thought it was an amazing deal. There's so much to talk about here, But let me just say the thing that I think is maybe my biggest question on this card. This is in an authentic holder, but when I look at the card, I don't know why it's in an authentic holder because it looks really, really good. Sometimes we've seen PSA grade something and put authentic, but then if you drill through to the cert number and go look at all the details, you'll actually see that online it says altered. This doesn't. It just says authentic. So that can mean a couple of different things. It can mean, and some people know this, but a lot of people don't. So let me just say it real quick. It could mean that this person who submitted it said, hey, only give me this card if it's a 7 or higher. And then PSA looks at it and goes, oh, it's a 6. And so then instead they put it in an authentic holder. I think that's a huge mistake. I think you just want to get the number grade on it, personally. The other thing that could happen, I've seen this a lot, is if a card is shorter than it's supposed to be, but PSA is not saying it's altered, they're just saying it's short, sometimes they're not willing to put a grade on it. And that's pretty common. And that might be what's going on here. That difference could be absolutely massive with this card. And that's why I actually think PSA should change their standards. Not that I know this, but like, I would like to look at this card and know either it was authentic because it had a minimum on it, or if PSA is not willing to say whether it's, great, willing to give a numeric grade because they've said it's too short. And since we don't know, it's sort of like, I don't know. If it was a 6, it should be way, way more than $32,000. I'll say that right now. It should be way more because people love the numeric grade on this card. I've really buried the lead here, though, Jeremy. If you turn around, look at the back, it's number 1 of 10. And for that reason, as far as Karl Malone cards go, there's a very good case. This is the best Karl Malone card in existence, except for the lack of the high grade on this card. But if you take condition out of it, it's probably the best Karl Malone card in the world.
You're talking about that sometimes they won't slab a card if it's too small. They will also just return it to you as min size. Mint didn't meet the minimum size requirement. So why would they slab this one if it was too small, but not slab others? Like I wonder what, why is it just slabbed as authentic?
Because it looks nice, right?
I feel like the submitter was nervous about getting a low grade and thought they'd be better off with this. I don't see any reason for this to be authentic because otherwise, there could be it could be altered. It's not. It could be min size. It's obviously not. It fits in the slab nicely. I feel like they just said, don't put a grade on it because we're afraid it's going to grade a 4 and we won't do well with it at sale. That's what I think.
You could be right. I want to tell you real quick something that happened to me that leads me to believe that it could be the other thing. So I sent in a Wilt Chamberlain autograph Legends card once. I got a call back from PSA and they said, Adam, we love this Wilt Chamberlain card. We want to put it in one of our holders. We cannot put a grade on it. I was like, why can't you put it on a grade? Because it's cut short. We are willing to put authentic on it. Doesn't say altered. We're willing to put authentic, but we are not able to put a grade on the card. And I said, okay, well, I still want the card in the slab. And so they did it for me. Maybe at a certain level, they do something different than just say min size, and then they don't charge, because I don't think they charge you when they do the min size.
It just doesn't make sense. So then they get to tell the card company that the card company produced the card wrong. Like if the card if the card company was willing to issue it in a pack, I don't know. This is a whole other discussion, but to me, it's like, is PSA or any grading company really, are they the ultimate boss where they get to say, you know what, it's a little bit too small, we're not going to grade it because it's too small? If that's the case, then don't slab it, because you're still like, what? Then what's the point of having minimum size, the min size exclusion? Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's an explanation for this, because they're very smart at PSA, smarter than me. I'm sure there's an explanation, so I'll defer to that. But from what what's going on in my head right now, it just doesn't make sense. And yeah, it doesn't look min size to me either. I've seen cards with way more room between the card border and these ridges, and they get graded, and this one didn't. So I don't know. Just doesn't. Well, Nate says min size equals doesn't measure per the factory specs. Well, yeah, okay, that's fair. It doesn't apply to this card here, though.
It sure doesn't look like it. It, like you say, we've seen cards with way more space around them in the edges. I was a bidder on this at $25,000. Like, I love this card, and I'd love to own, the card that people think of as like Karl Malone's best card. I might still bid on it. I'm just being real. I might, but it's the fact that it's in that authentic holder is going to give some people some pause. We didn't talk at all about it being one of 100 other than me, just for a second.
That's
like,
cool. I like that.
It's the first one. It's the first one of his best card. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, let's have a look at this Michael Jordan 2003 LeBron James 03 Ultimate Collection Gold autograph. The card is slabbed as authentic. Another one of those. The autograph is not graded. Probably a good thing. Let's just have a closer look at the autograph. Make sure you guys see what we're dealing with here. Number 2 of 23. So is this a rookie? Do we say 03? Yeah, rookie year. So that's really cool. This card obviously sat out in the light for a couple of years. It's pretty faded. You're still getting a LeBron rookie auto, though, but you have to be okay with faded autos in your collection if this is something that you're adding. Your thoughts? I mean, it's a beautiful card. It's too bad that this thing was out in the sun or the light.
So I've got a lot of thoughts on this card. This will surprise you. I actually love this card, because this card is the gold. You're laughing at me. Are you laughing at me?
I'm actually laughing at this comment. Read this comment, Adam. Read this out loud, please.
Same issue on PMGs in recent hockey sets. Sent my McDavid Green PMG 3 times PSA and came back min size twice, and the third time they slabbed it. Yeah, totally. Like that. Yeah.
Well, so, congratulations. PSA got 3 submission fees out of that one. Way to go.
Well, maybe they did. Do they always? My question for the chat, and Jeremy, for you too, because I don't have as much experience with PSA, but did they charge when they min size something?
Oh, maybe they don't.
I don't know. They might not. So
maybe they don't.
Let's talk about this LeBron real quick. So I said I really liked it, and people were probably scoffing, right? I'll tell you what I don't like. And remember I said earlier about, like, you look at the autograph, but also look at the white, look at the stock of the card, and then go compare that to another copy. This one's very yellow. Like, you can feel it. It's really had that time in the sun. But what I think people are going to do here is they're going to look at it and they're going to go, oh yeah, look, that LeBron rookie auto is just hammered. It's just in terrible shape. And they're going to move on. This isn't a card that we see very often, though. This is a card that we see it all the time in the regular version. We never see the gold 23. We just never see it. So where I'm a card guy, I want the rare card. I want to own it. And it's like, it's real. Like, I actually love this card for that, because it's a really rare LeBron rookie that you're going to get at easily the cheapest price you're ever going to see it at. You can see the serial number. It's big right there in the middle. But it's probably the worst of the 23 in existence. I think I can say that pretty comfortably.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, it's not something I would never put a card with an autograph like this in my collection. Like,
I know
no card, doesn't matter who the player is, how much I would never add the card. But that said, I can understand why people would. I get it. I do. I don't need, doesn't have to be for me to respect that other people would like it. And the fact that it's super rare and somebody wants every LeBron James rookie auto, you need this one. You might need this one. So
That's right.
I do get it. We've had a couple people tell us they do charge you when you send in a card that's too small. Molico says they do. Jason Newman, yes, for me, they have charged or did at least, says Molico. Lantern believes he was charged, but not 100% sure. So there you go on that. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay. There's the American Caramel Babe Ruth. Oh yeah, it's a 1921. So it's not a rookie year Caramel Babe Ruth. We also have, look what it's flanked by. The Topps Chrome Gold Refractor Dwayne Wade out of 50 PSA 10 Pop 8, $13,000. That's a big card right there for D Wade. And then on the other side is the Essential Credentials now LeBron James rookie out of 102 and a PSA 9 Pop 13, 5 higher at 14,500. My favorite LeBron James rookie, the one I own right there as well. So I'm card bros with whoever's going to buy this one tonight. Adam, speak to the two basketball cards. I know you'll have something to say, and then we'll talk about the Babe Ruth.
I think I like the Ruth the most of the three, so I'm glad we're coming back to the Ruth. But I love all three cards. For Wade, see how where it says Pop? Is it Pop 8? It's one of his best cards. It's one of his like really short list of like, do you own the Wade Gold Refractor? Oh, you do? You own a PSA 10? Like, it's huge. We saw LeBron PSA 10 move for, gosh, I'll bet Nate knows. I think it moved for like $700,000 like 3 months ago. So I was get a kick out of the multiple here. It's about the same population. In fact, I think LeBron's a Pop 9. Maybe it is even a Pop 8. So around the same population, but LeBron's worth 50x what Dwayne Wade is. That's kind of crazy to me. And then the LeBron credentials, we saw the PSA 10 just move of this for, was it 150 or 180? Do you remember, Jeremy, last one?
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay.
So I want to come back to your comment though, Adam, about 50-1 on LeBron to D Wade. Like, is it worth 50 times the amount? And I'm gonna think that it could be. I get that because, I'm not a basketball collector the way, it's not my first sport. I'm basketball as a second language kind of collector, right? Not as a first. And I wouldn't collect Dwayne Wade, but I would collect LeBron James. I do have some LeBron James cards. I don't have any D Wade cards.
Why wouldn't you? Why do you hate Dwayne Wade, Jeremy?
No, I didn't say hate. I just said I don't have. Yeah, put words in my mouth there. I wasn't sure if you. Yeah, I just don't. I wouldn't collect Dwayne Wade, but I would collect LeBron James. So, and I think there's probably 49 other people like me that feel the same way. For every one basketball collector who has to have, a lot of different players. Maybe, I'm guessing there, but I kind of get it, I kind of get that.
He's like a top 20 player ever. He's not like kind of good. He was great, man. He won 3 titles. He was part of all of Miami's championships.
But that stuff doesn't matter when it comes to the greater collecting society where, let me ask, okay, so look at Wayne Gretzky. How many hobbyists out there that dabble in hockey are only buying Gretzky's?
Yeah, you're right.
Most of them. They're not buying Lemieux. They're not buying Gordie Howe. They're only buying Wayne Gretzky. And, and LeBron James is a top 3 all-time player, right? I think that's pretty much been established.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade isn't. So I think that's a part of it.
Are we done?
We might be done. No, not yet. Not yet. We're still going.
Whew. That was close, though, Jeremy. That was a little bit of a scare.
Felt close. See, Jay Molico says, same reason no one buys a lot of Pippen. Molico, I would never buy Wade. Dog food or non-basketball going. Hey, that's what I was thinking, Chris. Same page there, buddy. By the way, Card Fuchsia says that they don't charge for min size as per an interview with Brad Hartland, who runs PSA Canada, was recently on the Gong Show podcast, and I don't remember hearing him say this, but maybe said that. Now that could have changed because I know that I've submitted cards and I've never gotten a refund on my stuff. So I've had cards come back min size as well. They definitely charged me for them, but that was, I haven't submitted to PSA in years, like, I don't know, in quite some time. So anyway, okay, let's talk a bit. Oh, did you have anything to say about the LeBron?
I mentioned what the last 10 sold for. The only other thing that I would point out there is like a 10 is rare, but a 9 is actually really rare too. You can see down here, it's a pop 13. It's not an easy card to get in the 9. And so this is another one of those multiples that I look at and I go, really? Because I think there's five 10s. So if there's 5 10s, it's going to be worth 150 grand. But if there's 13 9s, it's going to be worth, 1/8 the price. I don't get that personally.
Well, I own it. My copy is a BGS 9. It's got good subs, if I recall. And I was offered $26,000 for it one time. I turned it down. Then the card I saw sold for about $45,000. I thought, okay, good. I'm glad I turned down the $26K offer. And here we are a couple years later, and it's under 20. So should have taken the 26 and I'd be laughing today. But the card wasn't for sale. It's still not for sale. I love owning it, and I have faith in it long term. Love the card. It's my favorite LeBron. Okay, Zach, Collector Creative, what's going on? You're probably talking about
the LeBron Gold.
Look, right. The one of one.
No. The LeBron Gold PSA 10 of the Chrome. That's also like a Pop 8.
Thank you. Okay, we're almost through the auction, guys. UD3 Court Commemorative Michael Jordan Auto PSA 6. Auto grades out a 9. We've got an Essential Credentials Allen Iverson. 7750 seems cheap to me, Adam. It's a BGS 8. That's a decent grade for these. 7750. That seemed cheap to you? Like, I'm not talking I don't know comps. I'm going by my gut. It feels cheap.
I don't know. It feels not crazy to me just because there's 78 of them. It's not I don't know.
But I mean, a Shaq out of 74, I think, just sold for like 30 grand.
I think, remember how I mentioned earlier the PSA to BGS thing on the metal? It's the same thing on credentials, and it's because of the uncut sheets. Like, if you're buying this card and you want it to have an immediate huge gain in value, you get into a PSA holder. It's true.
So you're saying there's opportunity here to buy this card. If it crosses to PSA, you're going to see an immediate bump in value?
Yeah, it has less to do with the grade and more to do with just the authentication, because when you have uncut sheets, the uncut sheets then are cut and they end up, and a lot of those have ended up in Beckett holders. And so, and it's somebody who has like most of my big cards are in Beckett holders. It just kills me, right? Like, I've got a Jordan PMG in a Beckett holder, and could I pay PSA like $8 grand to put it in one of their holders? Yes, but do I ever want to pay $8 grand to just put a new holder on something? No, I feel like an idiot to have to do that. It's so stupid. Yeah. So that's why it feels like, So yeah, there you go, Jason Newman, 10.8. What grade was that, Jason? That's what I would be interested to know.
So this one right now is at about 9,300 or so with the buyer's premium, cheaper than 10.8. The 8's a good grade. The 8's a good grade for this. But then we have a Kevin Durant exquisite RPA BGS 9, numbered out of 99 at $17,000, one color patch. But this, I'm a fan of this design. Upper Deck put out this design for some hockey tributes, and I've got 3 of them, 3 different players from the set. So I like the design. I know that our friend Deep Value Investor on Instagram is a big fan of this. Might even be his card for all I know. I know he had a few of these. Bullish on them. What do you think of this card, Adam? I mean, the auto looks great. Does the auto grade out? What is the auto grade? Auto grades a 10, as it should. It looks very strong to me right here. And, the one color patch might get you a good price on it. But what are your thoughts, please?
So from the exquisite era, the only RPA that is better and more iconic is the LeBron. And it's this is number 2 by far and away. I've never loved that most of the patches are so simple, one color, trimmy sort of things. And I also don't love that a lot of them have been switched out over the years. I kind of, honestly, Jeremy, I've always liked the SP Authentic more, even though there's 3 times as many SP Authentic patch autos of Kevin Durant. I just think it's a better looking card. But this is the rarer one. It's the more iconic one. It is still that vintage Sonics jersey KD. And I think a lot of people love it. I think Durant is going to go down. I mean, at some point, people are going to look around and they're going to go, gosh, this guy scored. I mean, he hasn't yet, but at some point, they're going to say, this guy scored 30,000 points. He's one of the best offensive players of all time. He's got multiple championships. And maybe at some point, he's going to get the love that he deserves. It's one of the most iconic basketball cards of the century so far, too, is the other thing I'd say.
Now, okay, well, thanks, Adam. I have to correct myself. It's a 2-color patch, not a 1-color. You've got green and black on here.
You're right.
I thought that was shadow for some reason. It's just very similar, 2 similar colors. And yeah, I like this comment from Zax. He says, I like the Durant because the jersey window looks like the Hartford Whalers logo. Pretty fun. It kind of does, actually, just the shape of the window. Mollico questions if people even collect them, says he's the Rogers of the NBA, not that likable. But like you said, Adam, sometimes people look past that and just go to what does his resume say. James Wynn says, great player. Hopefully he plays till he's 41 years old. But Shannick says his personality kills his card values. So there you have it, everybody.
Which is funny because when he was in OKC, everybody loved him. Everybody. Like, he was just beloved. And then he leaves. And when he leaves, everything changed.
Everything changes. Jason Newman says his rings don't mean much to many people.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Jason.
Yeah. Which goes to show that, like, you know, championships are important, but they're not everything. They are very important. I think Connor McDavid needs one to get to the place where I'd like him to get to in the hobby, career-wise. But they're not everything. But they're something. Not going to deny that. All right, there's LeBron James SPX rookie auto jersey, 9.5 BGS grade, 10 on the auto, pop 13, none higher, $26,000. Now, these are not sticker autos. These are what they were calling Avery label autos. And I don't know if they were signed ahead of time and then put in the card, or the card was constructed and then it was signed. I'm sure the assumption is, oh, no, they were signed and then put in the card. That may not be the case. I'm not sure. It's a true gem plus. You get the extra half a grade, subgrade on centering. You have a nice, you know, the color of the jersey is nice here. It's not white, at least, I guess. It's this maroon color. The auto looks really good. 25 copies only, Adam. This is the Spectrum Parallel. It's a great card. This is really cool. Have at her, buddy. I know you're dying to.
So, you know how we were talking about on the Ultimate autograph that's out of 23? Yeah. I think the same thing will happen on this SPX. People have sort of lost that there's different levels to this card because the spectrum moves so infrequently. Most people are going to look at this card and go, oh, yeah, that's an SPX LeBron. I've seen it. I don't need to look at it. Those pop up all the time. Because what people want is cards that rarely pop up. Well, this actually is that. It doesn't pop up hardly ever. It's out of 25, like you just pointed out. And the only real difference that I know of off the top of my head is that left section of the card is in gold. And I think on the regular one, I think it's silver. I should know that right off the top of my head. But yeah, the other thing that I always point out on this one, it's one of his very first autographs. His autograph looks really different. And I love that. I love getting the earliest version where he's still growing into who he was going to become. He probably signed this either in the off season, like before the season started, or just right at the very beginning of the season. I just love that.
I'm trying to make sense of the autograph. I mean, I see LB38 is what I'm seeing, but maybe that's a J. Anyway,
yeah, I've never known either. I've never known. I see the LB2, and then I don't know what else is happening.
Yeah. 26 grand as we sit right now. You guys read Timepiece Esquire's comment in the chat. Pretty funny right there.
Hey,
all right.
And how about Jay Mollico?
Yeah.
Has more Twitter accounts than titles. I laughed out loud when I read that. That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny too. Bill Russell, All-American Sports Club PSA 10 with Mike Baker authenticated gold sticker, $16,000. Adam, the back is blank. The front is black and white. It predates his rookie card by 2 years. It's a PSA 10 Pop 2. Are you aware of this card? Do you know what this is, Adam?
Yes. Yeah, because Bill Russell has, this is the complete list of Bill Russell cards. There's this card, 57 Topps rookie card, 61 Fleer, 61 in action, 68 Topps test. That is the end of the list. That's it. That's all of Bill Russell cards that exist. So this one came out in it's like a magazine or something where you got like a whole panel. So it's hand cut. That's what I don't like hand cut cards. So I've got this like love-hate relationship with this card. I love that it's Bill Russell. I love that it's his earliest card. I hate that it's hand cut. And that's why it's able to be a Gem 10 is because somebody, in the last 10 years or whenever it was graded was able to find that sheet and then cut it. But that's how hand cut cards are. The thing that really has going for it, look at the population. There's like something like 10 of these cards in existence.
Total.
Some really small number. And I love that, but I don't love that it's hand cut. So
I've got several hand cut cards in my collection, slabbed hand cut, because that's the only way that the cards were produced. Box bottoms are hand cut. I actually love a good hand cut card, but there's a but there, Adam, which is, and you just mentioned it, like if this thing was hand cut, it's almost like photographs. Type 1 photographs were developed from the negative within 2 years of the photo being taken, whatever that is. Type 2, type 3. This would be like a type 3 hand cut. If it was hand cut in the 2020s or the 2010s, it's like a type 3. Over 25 years after the sheet was produced. But if this was hand cut like early on, then I would like it better. There's no way to know these things. There's no record of these of when these things were cut, so it doesn't. You can't ever apply these measurements to the card. But that, like, to me, it's almost like that to me is important. When was it cut? If this thing was just cut last year and slabbed, not as cool to me.
So I love this conversation. Okay, the nuance here is fantastic. If a set was highly collected back in the day, it's very likely that it was cut back in the day, right? And then even if it was cut later on, I don't care so much if the vast majority of those cards were cut back then. The example here is like the Jello or post cereal cards in baseball. Like you hardly ever see them, right? Like they're in great condition. And that's because people were actually buying these back in the 50s and 60s in the cereal boxes. They were cutting them out right then. And then they had the last 60 years to survive. And that's awesome. This Russell's not like that. Like, it's not like that because, and I'm not poo-pooing on the card. It was not highly collected. People weren't like going crazy for the All-American Sports Club set. It came in panels where you got like the whole set at the same time. It's very much like the Muhammad Ali rookie card. And a lot of people love that. They think it's the best card ever. I just know that most of those journals were sitting there for years, and then somebody found the journal, and then a couple of years ago they cut it and they made the card and they made it perfect, and that's great. But I want the card to have had decades to have those edges and corners just get hammered. And if it hasn't had that, I don't personally like it as much. Now that might be just me, and that might be like I might be like in the minority here, but that's how I want the card to have had to live in its original format for a long time, or I want the fact that it survived in its like still like uncut format for all these years. I want that to be just an unbelievable thing that that we're shocked that somehow it got to that. They got to that point.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to look at it, and I got to think it through a bit more how I feel about this ultimately. Linda's first says they're on a sticker in a cutout window. I think he's talking about the SPX. Yeah, this is a cutout window, but it's not a sticker. There's no sticker there. I shouldn't say that.
It kind of is.
I shouldn't say that. It is. No, I take that back. It is a sticker. It's just not a clear sticker. That's the difference I'm coming up with. But it's a sticker. It's a sticker.
And okay. Linda's first also said this thing about the action pack cards with Russell. You're exactly right. Linda's first. Russell has a million other cards. I'm talking about when he was a player, when he was an active player. Yeah. 2008
Leaf certified materials mirror gold Tom Brady with the NFL shield patch right in the middle there. This is out of 25. It's a PSA 7. It's sitting at only $1,650. All right. So we're at the bottom of page 3 now. Let's go to page 4. First, let's just close off some of these other windows, including the Durant. And we're going to go to the last page of the auction, guys, which has 5 cards on it, including this Topps Gold Label Class 1 Red Cal Ripken Jr. 1 of 1, PSA 10, $3,100. seems a little light for me for a 1 of 1 Cal, but hey, that's just me, and I'm biased because I'm a Cal Ripken Jr. fan. But Adam, it's Topps Gold Label. Is this something you're familiar with?
Yeah, totally. Like,
okay, well, educate us.
The thing about gold labels, it's like Showcase. There's just a lot of different levels. There's like different, oh, it's this level and it's this color. And so I remember Scottie Pippen year.
Scottie Pippen. Hold
Are we
on.
done?
We might be. There might have been a bid that came in at the very end. We're about to find out. Looks like we're still going. Okay.
Scottie Pippen had 9 1-of-1s one year. So I would guess that Cal Ripken's probably the same.
It's a cool card. You got a couple images of him. I like the Orioles logo in the background. Actually, I want to see the serial. Oh, yeah. Like, what I like is, look at the serial number. It's that big one. It's that big 1 of 1 right there. I like the gold foil. His name, Cal Ripken, over there. Nice looking card. $3,100. We have a Kobe 2013 Prism Brilliance Black Mosaic 1 of 1. $4,550, Adam. Thoughts on that card? Because it's a 1 of 1 Kobe.
It's 1 of 1 Kobe. It's actually from straight up Prism too, which is cool. Yeah. Prism has not been known as being an insert, an insert product over the years. It's the base, it's the parallels, but you don't think about the inserts right off, and so you probably don't think about this Kobe. What I love about it is it's a Playing Days Kobe 1 of 1 from the set of the era, right? But I don't think of this set, the Brilliant set. I don't think of that off the top of my head. With that said, it is what it is. It's a Playing Days Kobe 1 of 1 from Prism. There's not very many of those.
Very nice. First year for Black Diamond lets us know. Jason Newman says, don't sleep on 2023 Prismania. Just saying. And we have a Fleer Ultra Masterpieces John Stockton 1 of 1. I have to think this was on your like, I wish I could buy it list tonight, or what?
So it was number 1 on my top 10 that I did for Fanatics Collect today. I think some people would consider this the best John Stockton card in the world. It's from the very first set that had 1 of 1s along with Showcase. We know from 97 and 98, some of the Ultra sets, we actually have 2 1 of 1s. I'm not sure if there's 2 of these or if there's just 1 of these. But the fact that John Stockton has as many passionate collectors as he has, and Jeremy, he has many really passionate collectors, and that it's the very first 1 of 1, it's a huge deal. It's a huge card, and as a Jazz fan, I love this card. I love it.
Edges of the weakness is 7.5, but from the front, it looks really good to me.
Quick
peek at the back.
The other downside here, it basically looks exactly the same as the Ultra Platinum, except for the back that says the only 1 of 1 masterpiece. That's like the only difference on this card.
Yeah, right over here you can see it on the bottom, and it's always in purple foil on these 1 of 1 masterpiece cards, these platinum medallions. It's not a platinum medallion, sorry, but it looks like a ultra medallion, right?
It's exactly the same, except for it. And that's the problem that people have with it, is like some people would even take the 98 over the 97 because the 98's purple. It looks different. 97, although it's the first one, looks just almost exactly the same as the platinum. With that said, it's the first John Stockton 1 of 1 card in existence.
$25,000, guys. That's 30 grand out the door. And then you've got this is such a great card. This Tom Brady EX Essential Credentials from 2000 rookie card. But this is the out of 25 gold parallel. I'm calling it the gold. I don't know what they call it. But
credentials.
But it's out of 25.
Yeah, I know. It's just out of 25.
Are you telling me that the other version of this card that is not out of 25 is not called credentials as well? I think it is. I think that I don't remember if there's another one that's out of something out of 20. Well, there is. Yeah, 25. This is out of 25. There's the version that's out of more.
Oh, you mean like $29.99?
No, it's not that many. It's not that. 1,500 diamond. Is it out of? Okay, so this So the other one, this is the credentials.
This is the credentials. The other one
is just EX 2001. Okay, thank you.
It's just the base card.
Thank you,
I thought you were saying there were two credentials like they did in other years.
Future and now. Yeah. I love this card. BGS 9. I love it out of 1500 too, the EX 2001, but this being out of 25, I mean, what just an amazing Brady rookie. It reminds me of the LeBron out of 102 that I have, the credentials out of 102. You know, that like there's just fewer of these and it's $46,000. Pop 14, none graded higher by BGS as well. Awesome card. And we finish off, the last card in the auction is the Mewtwo Beta on card mounted 96 Pokemon Japanese at $6,000 as we sit right now, guys. So we've made our way through all the items in the auction, Adam, and now I think we should, well, let's see what's happening here. Did it end? Oh, no, that's because I switched tabs. We're down to 13 seconds, but let's see what's going on at the top of page 1. So the Brady Shield Auto has gone from 130 to 140,000. The Gretzky PSA 9 has gone from 75,000 to 90,000, which is now 108,000 out the door. You know, several tens of thousands more than I think it's truly worth. Like 8.5, about 8.5 tens of thousands. The emblems of endorsement, Jordan's up to 60K. Flawless Brady, 44. Connor McDavid went from 50 to 60,000 since we've seen it last time, Adam. 55 now on Tatum. He went up 10% from 50, and so on and so forth. 25.5 now. We were at 19, I think, when we came into the auction on this McDavid Green PMG. 55,000 on the Caminero debut patch. 22,750 on the Kaboom Tatum. 32 on the emblems of endorsement Jordan. 10,250 on the quad auto. 25,000 now on my babe that is not mine. 21.5 on the BGS 9.5 Jordan rookie. That seems low, but maybe I'm missing it. I mean, I haven't been watching these, I guess, lately, but I mean, these were 40 to 65,000 all day long, and now it's down to $25,000 or so. All right. Oh, 15.5 on the Bowman Chrome Refractor, LeBron James. Page 2. Let's let it catch up. 11.5 on McDavid. 21,250 on Sky's the Limit, Kobe. 87.50 on Ellie. 38,000 on Elway. 92.50 here on the Jordan autograph. 13,250 on the Mbappe.
Hey, Jeremy, I said I might. I ended up giving a shot on that Sky's the Limit Kobe. I just got a bid a minute ago on it. I'm not going to bid again. So I gave it a shot. I love that card.
Well, good for you. Good. I'm sorry you didn't get it, but good job. Good job. Jay Malko says BGS is losing value on a whole on those cards. Yeah. I mean, it's just so stupid that they are. I hate to say it, but it's stupid that they're losing value.
Which ones are you talking about?
He's talking about the Jordan, the 86 Jordan.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Nothing has changed on the card except for that BGS has taken a reputational hit.
Yeah.
But the card is the same as it always was. It's like if PSA ever takes a reputational hit, we're all up whose creek. I mean,
the thing that I don't get about it, some people would say, well, maybe Beckett has stuff that's been altered in their cases, and so maybe it really needs to be in a PSA holder. Well, but PSA we know that some older cards that are in PSA holders wouldn't be in PSA holders in the same grade or at all today if they were regraded. So it's not just that. I agree. It doesn't make any sense.
Malako says many view BGS 9.5 as a PSA 9. They don't view it as a PSA 9. They think that the value would be the same. And that's probably what you're saying, Malako. But it's not like there was a time when I would get BGS 9.5s and I would submit them to PSA every single time it came back at PSA 10. Every single time. Yeah. James says losing your mind, hard drive space, thinking about grades in 2024 is insane. Oh boy, do I ever agree with that.
But you have to, because people spend so much more money on those grades. And so you just pull your hair out. Like, why is it like this?
Well, I'm glad they do. It leaves the value for the just the more savvy collector, the savvier collector. It really does. I'm not saying that you're not going to make money if you just want to buy cards and flip them and make money. That's great. But I think there's so much potential to be buying BGS 9s and 9.5s right now. That's where the value is. But everyone would rather spend way more money on an inferior card in a higher graded PSA slab, because the hobby does, a lot of people just don't think for themselves, or they're busy competing on the set registry, which I understand. It's important. That the ego is a very, very fragile thing. So I definitely get it as well.
It's even more true, Jeremy, to me, on the, we were talking about the cards, some of the sheet cut cards that people have used Beckett to sort of get the card graded, even though it's sheet cut with a fake serial number. If you really know your products really well, and you can find some of those ones that are in BGS holders, and then get those just into PSA holders and pay the fee and whatever else, there's some huge money-making opportunity on some of those types of cards. Especially, I'm talking about those cards from the 90s that people worry about being in Beckett holders. There's some really big opportunities to make money on those cards.
I think so too. And yes, all grading companies have had their issues with, trim cards getting past them and altered, and all these different, even counterfeits have gotten through, both PSA and Beckett. That's why it's so important. If you can authenticate the card, once you get past the point that the card is real, and then you can just assess the condition for yourself, I think that's when you can actually really flex your savviness in this hobby, and not just let the narrative that Beckett sucks and PSA is the best, cause you to unnecessarily spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I, hey,
are you gonna bid on that Gretzky out of 9 again? I think you should.
No, I'm just not. I mean, oh gosh,
I'm teasing.
I would love to. I'd rather buy the Babe Ruth, the 33 Gaudi Ruth. I mean, it's more expensive, but I'd rather have the Ruth.
We never looked at the American Caramel. Can we go back and look at that before we do our this or that's, and then we should do our this or that's.
Sure thing. Let's just okay. So let's see here. Here it is. Okay, it's a PSA 3.5 American Caramel 1921 E121. Such a cool card for the New York Americans. So this is prior to the Red Sox and the Yankees, I guess.
No. Americans, no, because this is Red Sox is like 1916, and then he gets traded to the Yankees, and I guess the Yankees had the name Americans first. I think. I'm
sure someone can brief us on that. Yeah, because it's in 19, certainly not prior to that. So really cool card here. What's it sitting at right now? $34,000. Now, he's got some 1916 cards. This card has sold in the past for $52,800 and $30,000. Any Babe Ruth card from his playing days is pretty darn cool. And this is one of them. I don't know much about this card, though. It's not one that we see very often. Do we have any pop information? I'm curious what the total population is on this card. I'm just going to go to the PSA app here and punch that serial number into it and get the, so 411-0151. New York Americans is the New York Yankees, says Jake Dahl. Thank you, Jake. So this card in a 3.5 is a pop 3 with 13 graded higher atom. And now I got to go into I got to click the link to see, and it's not numbered. There's 80 cards, so I'm going to have to scroll to find the Babe Ruth here. Ty Cobb. Yeah, it's going to take a while to find it, but I'm really Adam, what do you want to say about this card? What do you think of when you look at it?
So I don't think you have a this or that set up for this in the Gaudi, but I like that question because it says a lot about who you are as a collector. The Gaudy's known by far and away better. It's in color and it's beautiful, and there's so many things to talk about it that aren't talking points here. But the talking points here are not just exclusive to rarity. It's about who Babe Ruth was in 1921. It's about where he was in his career and what the cards of him that had been produced up until this time all looked like. You know, he up until 1921, you don't have a lot of those. You don't have colorful cards. There's some cards that are like the sort of, I forget what they're called, but the cards that are like cut out of panels or things like that have colors on them, but nothing like Gaudy, nothing like Sport Kings. So this is like one of the best looking Babe Ruths as of this period. And then when you get to the conversation about rarity, it's like, holy crap, like it is so much rarer than those Gaudy cards, like so much rarer. And that to me is the story. Like it's about the era, it's about the rarity. And then this is one of the better copies. I think you said there's 13 copies that have been graded higher than this one. That's such a small number.
Yeah. This is a 3.5. And there's been a total of 51 submissions of the card. And yeah, there are 13 higher. So it's in the top third of the condition of of all of them in terms of condition. The centering is really nice. It just presents really well for 3.5. Let's have a quick look at the back. Is there something? And the back even has action. It's not like it's a blank back. You've got some text on the back as well, which is a bit of a bonus for some cards from this era.
It came out of a candy product, just like, I mean, if you count gum, just like the Gaudy. Like I love candy and food product cards. I do. I love them. I love the era of the Ruth. So for me, you show me both of them, I'm going to take this card over the. And yeah. I love the Gaudy, but I like this card.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. It really is. It really is, Adam. And I don't know which one I would take. I love the Gaudys, but I just don't know this card yet. I've never really seen it before. So it's hard for me to just all of a sudden say, oh, I take this over the Gaudy, but it's amazing. There's no doubt about it. This is an amazing card. Totally amazing card. Okay, let's see where things are at here. So the auction's still going strong. There's still bids coming in. It's a full minute has to go by without a bid on any item in order for this auction to end. And once that happens, all 77 items will be over. By the way, Adam, that green Tiger Woods right here on Instagram, Tiger Cards Only said, yes, it's the first green. It's the first pack pulled, and it's the only one in a red shirt. This is a big card. That 3 reasons why this is a very big Tiger Woods card right here.
Very cool.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool card. Okay, you want to do some this or that?
You know I do. Let's do it.
All right, let me close out all these extra windows. We're down to just the 4 pages. And let's do some, guys. So this is where you guys got to get involved. We want to see what you have to say. So feel free to put them in the chat. But we're going to start off with our first this or that of the night. And boom, there it is right there. Wayne Gretzky versus Kobe Bryant. Boy, would I like to add both of these cards to my collection. This or that, guys. Which of these 2 cards would you put in your collection? Adam, I'm going to start with you. I know you're a Kobe guy, but is there any thinking for you? Is it just Kobe?
I hate this. This is too good of a question. It really is. So I would take the Kobe because I have wanted this specific Kobe card for a really long time, right? Like it's toward the top of my Kobe list. I love this card. But I really struggle to say it because I love that the Gretzky's out of 9 from the Master Collection, and people don't know the Master Collection. I love that, as our friend, I forget who it was, Linda's First, I think, said that there's the 1 mystery card per box. That's the exact same format that they used in basketball. And, there's just 9. I might go Gretzky if this is the rarest autograph patch that came out of the Master Collection. I might go Gretzky.
think it is. There might be a couple 101 versions that, a couple lucky people might have gotten, but I think this out of 9 is, there might be a couple different versions. I think this is it though, Adam.
Gosh, it's close. It's really close.
Yeah, I'm going Gretzky. Even though I love the Kobe, I'm going with the Gretzky. And it looks like Gretzky is really winning by a landslide in the chat here. So let's go through. We got one vote for Kobe from Jeff Derrico. Linda's taking Gretzky. Lantern's taking Gretzky. Diamond's taking Kobe. So we're tied at 2 there. But then Gretzky goes on a bit of a run. Ali is taking Gretzky. Jacob, Found Treasures, LGC, Jason Newman are all taking Gretzky. Sundin is taking Kobe, even though not a basketball fan. Linda says there were 101 auto versions of the 18 base cards. And Zach loves the Kobe. So I think Gretzky's winning this one. And it's just such a unique Gretzky card, Adam, in the fact that you don't really get auto patches with him, with patches of all 4 of those jerseys. All that's missing is St. Louis, but he didn't even play a whole season there.
And it's 24 years old. It's at the beginning of this sort of revolution of autograph patches. And Jeremy, I love when something is like important and early on in the stage of that thing. And this is made 2 years after his first, or 3 years after his first autographed jersey card. It's awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah, his first autographed jersey card is 1997. And this card is, and I'm just going to the year, 2000. So this is early auto patch. Like,
you know what though? You're a big aesthetics guy. I think the Kobe's a way better looking card than the Gretzky is.
I think the Kobe's beautiful, but I don't think it's they're very similar. You got the player off to the side.
I think
there's
way
similarities.
Better. I think it's way better. It's more modern. I think the Kobe's a way better looking card.
On the surface, okay. But then I look at I just know that Upper Deck makes such a better quality card than Panini does. Like looking like the feel of it, the weight, the everything. Like it's just, Okay, Jeff says Gretzky. Sundin says Kobe. Zach says the all 4 jersey factor is really cool. Agree with that. Okay, let's go to the next. This or that. Oh, couple of black and whites, Adam. We got the Bill Russell versus the Babe Ruth, the one that we were already talking about. This one's easy. This is easy. But guys, what are you doing? You taking who is anybody taking the Bill Russell in this case?
The case for the Russell. Remember I talked all about rarity? Bill Russell has 5 cards from his whole career. 5. And I already told you what I told you about hand cut. I can't take that back. I don't like hand cut. But this is an ultra rare card, even though it's hand cut. It is so crazy rare. I take the Ruth. But
keep talking about the Russell, because so far it's everyone's voted for Babe Ruth. No one has taken Bill Russell yet. I don't know that anybody will. I don't know that you could talk them into it, Adam.
People know American Caramel. Even if you don't know the set as well, you've heard of it. It's this. People were collecting baseball cards at this time. The Russell exists because it sort of just happened to be around all that time. The Ruth exists because people loved American Caramel and they collected the cards and then they hung on to them for years and years. And that rich history of vintage baseball, I think it's the Ruth pretty easily.
Well, let's see the votes. James Wynn, Babe Ruth. Jeff Derrico, Babe Ruth. Linda, George Herman, Babe Ruth. Jacob is taking Babe. Lantern is taking Babe. Ali, Sundin, Found Treasures. Zach at Collector Creative. James Wynn says basketball popularity is dying. Diamond Card says the Russell was mine, so I'll say the Russell. Moliko's taking the Ruth. Newman's taking the Ruth. Linda says the Ruth is cool because it shows him with his glove throwing as opposed to him with his bat like most cards. Yeah, he's in the field. It's very cool. Very cool. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see what's going on in the auction very quickly. We have 42 seconds. The bids are coming in. We did this one already sort of informally, guys, but here it is formally. I thought I created these like a week ago, so I didn't know exactly what was coming. I don't even know what the next one is here. We have the PSA 9 Michael Jordan versus the BGS 9 Michael Jordan. I think we kind of landed on the fact that the BGS is the better card. So I'd like you to assume that the BGS is the better card. Let's see who's still taking the PSA slab. I'm going to guess it's going to be most of you, but I hope not. Newman said Babe Ruth. Shannick also said Babe Ruth, not even close. Yeah, I think I'm with you. So now we're on to the BGS versus PSA. They're both mint 9s. And right now in the auction, I'm going to go see what these are selling at right now so we can share that information. Let's find them here in the auction. What page were they on? Page 2 or 3 or not on 1, are they? No, it must be on page 3. Okay, so as of right now, guys, the PSA is sitting at $13,000 and the BGS is at $8,625. So you're $4,400 more, which is basically 50% premium to buy the PSA slab over the BGS slab right now. 50% premium, guys, to get the inferior card. Let me say that again. It's a 50% premium to purchase the inferior card, not the inferior plastic. The plastic is superior. The PSA plastic is superior. I think we all agree to that, just because that's what the hobby says on value. The card, guys. All right,
I will say this. If anyone was going to vote for PSA, you have swayed them. They feel scared. They feel scared now to say PSA.
You should be. In this case. Now, keep in mind, this is a very old PSA slab. And I think that they are adhering to their standards a lot better now under Nat's leadership than they ever were before. But even then, they've grown a lot. You know, it's hard to keep tabs on every single card going through there when they're doing 1.3 million a month. But I'm sure they're doing the best they can. Adam, which one are you buying?
BGS.
Yeah, me too. Easy answer for me, BGS. In this case, James Wynn is taking the BGS. Linda is taking the cheaper one so I can buy more cards. Yeah, that makes sense to me. James is, I don't know what that means, James, but they're cute. Found Treasures. PSA, I'll keep my raw MJ and sell the PSA. How can you, so you're going to buy it and then sell it? Found Treasures, I don't understand. Lantern is taking the cheapest. Ali is saying centering on BGS looks a bit better. Centering is my jam, BGS. Yeah, and that's what we kind of concluded that earlier. I don't know if you were here. Nate is taking the BGS. Junk Wax Pack, BGS. Shaunik is taking BGS. Because you're cheaper, because you want the nicer card. It shouldn't be because you don't have to say because you're cheap. You could say because you're savvy. I'm taking the BGS because I'm savvy, guys, not because I'm cheap. But I want that extra money for other things. Like you accomplish two things here. Sundin, BGS because they need love right now. That's very kind of you. Kinger, welcome to the show. What's going on? Jacob says, hey. I would go with the nicest one. Well, yeah. PSA, I got swayed the other way. And Zach says, whichever is the nicer card. Well, we kind of said that the BGS is the nicer card. It is from a centering perspective, but it has a slight registration issue. Stale prod, nicer card, slab doesn't matter. That's the way to do it. All right.
So Jeremy, before you move on to the next one, we said that I said this earlier. I said, look at that cert number on the Beckett graded one. Anybody want to guess what year this Jordan 86 in the BGS slab was graded?
I'd like to guess. I'm going to guess 2002.
Oh, you're close. It's 2005. It has been almost 20 years since that card has been touched by human hands. And every time I see a card like that, I look at it and I go, man, there's a chance that crosses. Like, would that be shocking? Have you seen PSA 10s that look worse than this BGS 9? Because I have. I absolutely have. And if it hasn't been touched in that long, you sort of just look at it and wonder, like, could that be a PSA 10? But then I think I would be putting it in a PSA 10 holder only for value purposes.
Auction's over.
It ended?
Auction's over.
Yay!
It ended. Okay. So we will do more of this or that, but in the meantime, let's just see what everything's sold for, guys. And let's can I sort by, I don't want to mess with the sorting because I could lose these items altogether because they're over. But let's just go through and see what happened here. Brady does 168, Illustrator 204, Gretzky 108, which is I'm just going to stop beating that card up. Emblems of Endorsement Jordan 72,000, 60 on the Brady Flawless, 72 on the McDavid Cup RPA, 66 on the Tatum Prism Gold, 66 on the Mahomes Contenders Auto, 72 on the Jordan Exquisite Patch Auto, 30,000 on the McDavid PMG Green. I really wanted that card. 24 on Josh Allen, 66 on the Junior Caminero MLB debut patch. 30,000 on the Photo Black Mahomes, 39,006 on the red retail Prism Mahomes. We got 38.4 on this Jordan emblems of endorsements, and the quad auto does 12.3, 27.3 on the controversial Tatum rookie card. Kaboom. 30 exactly on what is not my Babe Ruth Gaudy. 26.7 because I wanted to buy that, but I just couldn't do it. 26.7 on the Jordan Chronicles, 26.1 on the BGS 9.5 Michael Jordan rookie. 18.6 on the Bowman Rookies and Stars LeBron James, 15.3 on the Lamar Jackson gold vinyl. Mark Jackson PMG Green, a hair under 10,000. That's page 1. Page 2. 13.8 on the gold McDavid Auto Cup rookie. Ellie De La Cruz, the Topps Chrome Sapphire Paparadox does 10.5. Sky's the Limit, WebTech, 25.5 on the Kobe, 45,600 on the unflattering image of John Elway, 11.1 on the Jordan Auto, 15.9 on the Kylian Mbappe, just under 20,000 for this Jordan, for this Gretzky card. What a card. What a card. Josh Allen does 18.9, Lamar does 7,200, Kobe 34.2, Chansey 12,000. Lamar Jackson, 82.50 on the dual shield. Dual shield here, 12.6. Herbert and Burrow. The Justin Herbert RPA Flawless does 15,000. The White Dragon Blue Eye gets 24K. 18,000 on Mahomes. 13.2 on Duke Snyder. $3,240 on the Pele jersey. Herbert Kaboom, 18.9. 14.4 on the Giannis Next Day. Shohei does 7,200. Josh Allen Immaculate 5,800. 19.8 on the BGS 7.5 Star 101 Michael Jordan. The one piece card gets 15.6. Page 3, the two Jordans, so a 50% premium for the inferior PSA 9 over the BGS 9. 12.6 on the Bird Magic rookie. This Tiger Woods, I think that's a good buy at 16.8. And so on and so forth. Let's see, the Cup case did 19.5. The the NT basketball did 14.4. Now I'm just looking for cards over 10 grand. 42 on the Karl Malone PMG Green. 14.1 on the LeBron Auto. 17.7 on the LeBron Essential Credentials. 42 on the Babe. 20 on the Wade. There we go, guys. You can look at the rest of these for yourself. All right, Adam, we'll do comments. We'll finish up. We'll have some more fun with some more of this or that before we wrap up, guys. Tatum has a following. Just nuts, says Zach. All right. Thanks, Brandon D. We're not done yet, though. We are not done. Have a good holiday to you as well. All right. So did we get through this one? I think the votes.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
we did.
So let's go to the next one then. This is a couple of goats here, guys. Babe Ruth versus Michael Jordan. Star 101. I mean, listen, this is one of these ones where like does it make sense to do this or that? Well, it does for me, guys, because these are both cards that I've considered owning. And at one time I would have said the Michael Jordan Star 101, but now that card, that card has just been dragged through the hobby too much for me. I'm just not interested in the 101 anymore. But I'm interested in the Babe Ruth. So I'm going with the Babe. Adam, what about you?
Yeah, I like it when we disagree, but I agree. I'd go with the Ruth.
You'd almost rather disagree with me, hey?
Yeah, it makes for a better show when you and I don't agree on everything, but I agree. It's the Ruth.
Well, you can disagree for sport if you want.
No, I love the Ruth. The Ruth, we talked all about. I mean, it's just a beautiful example of that card.
Yeah.
Which one sold for more?
I think you mean that. Yeah, the 42,000 on the between these two. I was going to say the Babe Ruth Caramel did 42,000. Between these two, now you're making me go hunt for them, but I don't mind doing it. So the Star 101 sold for 19.8 and the Ruth did 30. So the Ruth sold for 50% more.
Yeah.
So look what's going on here, though, guys. Votes are coming in. Jake Dahl says Babe Ruth. Lantern says Babe Ruth. Jason Newman says Babe Ruth. So burnt out of seeing that. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Jason. I'm just burnt out on the Jordan Star 101. Like, it's almost, it got so much attention in hobby content and just auction houses and all that I'm like, it's just, I've seen it too much now. I don't even want one anymore, but I definitely want that Babe Ruth. Michael Mazziano says the Tiger Green PMG was a steal. I know. I think the same thing, man. I think the same thing. Zach is taking the MJ all day because he's an MJ guy. Well, that makes good sense. Linda's first son has taken the Babe Ruth. Happy holidays to you as well, Zach. Thanks for dropping in tonight. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to whip through these last ones, guys. This one was curated specifically for Adam. Both from his Utah Jazz, Adam. Which one? Guys, do you want the Malone PMG Green or the Stockton Masterpieces 1 of 1? And is this a tough one for you, Adam, or is it easy?
They were the top 2 cards on my top 10 list.
I couldn't believe these were both me. I'm like, I got to do this one just for Adam. So, guys,
it was the first time we've ever in the history of the Premier had a base card of either Karl Malone or John Stockton. We had a John Stockton dual logo man auto out of Exquisite once upon a time, but that was the only other card that I can recollect that we've ever had in the Premier. We've never had anything else. These are the first 2, and they came in the same auction, and they came from 2 different sellers, which is just crazy.
That's crazy. Before you give us your answer, Linda's first says, I'd rather have the Stadium Club Retro Finest Refractor of the Jordan 101. That's a beautiful card. I used to have the non-refractor version. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous card.
Really hard to find centers. Really tough.
That's okay. You kind of don't want a center because the original wasn't centered. I'd want it to be true to the original.
And there's some other condition issues with that one too, but I love that card. That card's grown in value a lot over the last decade.
What are you doing between these two, though, Adam?
Let's let everybody else sort of. No, I don't know. Do you want me to say?
Well, hold on. We've got 112 people total with us right now. 75 on YouTube, over 30 on Twitter, couple on Instagram, and we've only got 3 votes so far. So that's okay. You guys don't have to get involved if you don't want to. We prefer you do, but that's okay. You're just sitting back, relaxing, can't reach your keyboard. That's fine too. Adam, it's over to you now. Yeah, because we only have 3 votes on this one.
They're just both huge cards, grails for a Jazz fan. There's one of the Stockton, and you might get another chance at the Malone. There's one of the Stockton. So and they came out the same year. The answer for me pretty easily was the Stockton.
I'm going with the Malone. I'm not a huge fan of those ultra platinum medallions, the ultra. I think that Malone is just that is a striking piece. I would go with the Malone. Now, that said, if you switch the players around, I'm actually questioning this because Stockton is the guy I would rather own than Malone, Adam, by a mile. I'd way rather own a Stockton card. If the players were reversed, it would be a slam dunk. I'd go with the Stockton PMG. I do prefer the PMG, but I might have to go back on my answer and say maybe I do go with the Stockton because I just don't have any interest in collecting a Karl Malone card. I don't know. Didn't he have issues? Didn't he have some big issues out there, like stuff that I don't want to talk about?
Yeah, before his career, he made some really bad decisions, and that came out after his career was over. So it's kind of a hard thing to talk about. But
yeah,
for Karl Malone, for both of these players, you can make the case that you're looking at their best card, and that's a really rare thing to see. John Stockton's going to always be the NBA's all-time assist king. No one will ever get close to it. He's like 30% above the next closest guy, Jeremy. It's like not even close. And Karl Malone is 3rd all-time in scoring. They didn't win championships. They played against the greatest player of all time. And so, it's really like one of the best Karl Malones versus one of the best John Stocktons. What I will tell you is growing up in Salt Lake, always looking for rare cards of these two, I only ever saw one Ultra Masterpiece. I actually bought it. It was from this very same set. It was their rookie, Jacques Vaughn. I paid like $30 for it, and I saw like 4 or 5 greens through the years, but I only ever saw one Ultra Masterpiece. It's incredible to see that.
Well, okay. So I'm going to go with a Malone in this case,
Okay.
but you switch. Yeah, I'm going with a PMG still for myself. Let's go to the chat though. Diamond is taking Stockton. Lantern is taking Malone. Newman is taking the PMG green. They're so close. The Malone being the first printed tips it for me. The 1 of 10. That's cool. Vintage says Malone. The 1-1 doesn't do much for me with the front being the same as Platinum. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that resonates with me there, Vintage. Shannock says Malone. The Stockton looks bland. Yeah, I feel the same way. Kurt is taking the Malone. Linda, I guess the Malone because I like the color, but it's a tough one. Yeah. James is taking Malone. He's taking it all day, not just now, not just earlier today. He's taking it all day, guys. Sundin is saying taking the PMG because I recently got my first PMG. All right, good. Okay, let's go to the next one, guys. Thank you for participating with that. Now we have 4 more. Do you guys want to go through all 4? Or should we save some? We'll go through them quick. I know Adam wants to go through them all. A couple of Jordan autographs here. The emblems of endorsement, authentic auto 10, or the SP signature edition gold. So left or right, guys, or you can say exquisite versus SP signature, however you want to do it. Adam, we're going to start with me. I'll start this one off. This is easy for me. You know what I'm going with. Yeah, this is easy. I think we're all going to take I'm going to take the emblems of endorsement on this one, Adam. How about you?
Yeah, it's not close. This wasn't one of your better ones. This one's definitely the exquisite.
All right. Well,
what did you didn't really comment on my my comment about the top right of the exquisite card that has that embossing.
I loved it. I didn't notice it ever until you mentioned it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? And after you see it, it's like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And I also looked, I believe that I looked at this card too, because when I was doing the Fund Your Cards show on Tuesday, this was a Fund Your Cards card. So we looked at it then too. And even then I didn't notice it. So yeah. Okay. We do have some votes for the SP signature though. So let's see here, guys. Jacob Dahl has taken the emblems, as is Lantern, as is Vintage. But look, Ali has taken the SP Sig. James has taken the Exquisite, which is the emblem. So is Vintage, or the Vintage cards. Jason Newman is as well. But Linda's first has taken the Vertical SP Signature auto. And James says any Jordan in BGS is a fail, what we learned today. Well, I don't believe that, but okay.
Remember the SP signature is on a sticker too.
It is. It's also on a sticker.
This is not close.
I don't think I knew that when I set this up, by the way. I think I didn't realize that. Yeah. One more comment, then we'll go to the next one. Kurt Renaud, not crazy about the horizontal cards. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I buy them indiscriminately, but I get it. Some people don't like those as much for whatever reasons, and I think that's just a-okay. All right, here we go. The Connor McDavid PMG green out of 10, or the Tom Brady Essential Credentials BGS 9. I mean, these are both big cards, guys. Let's just see what they sold for tonight. I'm going to hunt them down here. Hopefully they're okay. The McDavid sold for $30,600, and the Brady, oh, where is it? Did it do 40, I think? Page 3. Gosh, I can't find the Brady right now. I'm literally not finding it, Adam. Is it on page 4, which I closed? Maybe it was on page 4, which I closed for some reason.
I'm having computer issues right now too myself, so I can't actually go look.
Oh, the Brady did 55,200. So yeah, significantly more than Connor, but we're getting votes on this one. So let's see. James has taken the Brady. LGC has taken the McDavid. Vintage Brady, Newman Brady, Ali McDavid all day. all day, 24 hours a day. Vintage Card Collector's taking the Connor McDavid. Lantern is taking the McDavid Green PMG. Jeff is taking the... Jeff, you have a McDavid, don't you? I got to think you have a McDavid in your collection. Yitz is taking McDavid. Diamond says, someone stole my Brady. Congratulations. There you go. Shannick is taking McDavid, but he's mainly a hockey. That's okay. You're allowed to have biases in these this or that. It's like, totally. That's what we're playing to, are the biases here. Kurt is saying Brady. I know very little about hockey. Diamond is saying Brady. I have another. I'm taking the McDavid myself here, even though I love the Brady too, but I'm also taking the McDavid. How about you, Adam?
I'm taking the Brady.
Why?
Well, for Brady, there's very few of his rookie parallels that are as big of a names as credentials. Take aesthetics aside, the name credentials means something. It's out of 25, and the regular. You might even make the case that the regular rookie Brady looks almost as nice, or looks nicer than the credentials. I'm just being real. Like, this is not the best looking year of credentials, but it's an iconic card in its regular form of the greatest player of all time, and it's out of 25. Like, McDavid still, we're going to figure out who he's going to be. The Brady for me by a lot.
I'm going to change. I'm going to take the Brady too. You convinced me. I'm changing my mind. See, you can play to you can exercise your biases here when you're picking. You can also change your mind, guys. That is allowed. And the Brady, if McDavid has won a cup by now, but then again, Brady's he's not even in his uniform there. McDavid is an actual game photo. This is a tough one for somebody who's not just married to one sport,
Especially where you're a hockey guy, though. Like, I get it with the McDavid. Like, what name is bigger in the last 10 years? And that's the set, and it's the green. Like, I get it 100%. Yeah. I'm not a hockey guy. For me, I'm not a football guy either, but like, Brady speaks to me way more than McDavid speaks to me personally.
You're also allowed to change your mind twice and go back to your original answer, like I'm about to do here. I think I'm going to go back to McDavid on this one. He's wearing baggy, says LGC. Yeah, Brady's wearing sweatpants and a practice jersey, but at least it's Patriots colors. Like, that's good,
It's true.
Yeah. I don't mind the practice jersey, actually. Logo showing and licensed, he says. The firm says, that's on both, though, right? There's no issue. What are you trying to say there, the firm? I'm just curious what you're comparing that to. Diamond Card says, besides the legacy out of 20, this is as good as it gets in semi-Pats uniform. Yeah, I do have a ping pong match going on in my head. Exactly. Hey, that's the beauty of the hobby, right? Your mind can change day to day or minute to minute. Number 2 Brady rookie in the firm's opinion. Yeah, I think it's a great Brady card for sure. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. We don't need final answers on these. Here we go. Michael Jordan, exquisite patch auto out of 100 versus Connor McDavid, the Cup RPA at a 99. So basically, you've got a McDavid rookie card versus I'm gonna say something that makes no sense, and I'd slap myself if I was willing to slap myself. The Michael Jordan exquisite rookie patch auto. Because it's his first year. It's the first year exquisite, not a rookie. I get it, but it's the first exquisite year. Jordan, iconic design, patch auto. Price wise, I think they both did about 60 or 70 grand today. Let me go hunt them down. Okay, there. The Jordan did 72. They both did 72,000. Adam, both cards sold for the exact same price, guys. I'm just going to show it to you really quickly. Check it out. 72 on the Jordan, 72 on the McDavid. Same price for both of them. Adam, I'm going to start with you. I feel like it's obvious you're going to take the Jordan because you're a basketball guy and you're not sure if hockey's played on a field or an ice rink. I'm just kidding, buddy. Which then again, you do have hockey in your city now, the Utah Hockey Club, and they're not bad. That said, I'm going to make you say it. Which one are you taking?
Well, it's not just that I like basketball more. It's also that I like people who have been really established more and set. Like, this is from 03 Exquisite. I would love this Michael Jordan card. And so for me, it's the Jordan pretty easily.
Adam's taking the Jordan. I'm taking the Connor McDavid. I am taking the McDavid over the Jordan because it's a rookie, because it's the Cup RPA. Yeah, I'm taking it. And there's lots of Jordan Auto patches in 03 Exquisite. Well, there's 4 or 5 anyway. They're all amazing. But if I have to pick one in this case, I'm taking the McDavid. I'm hoping he wins a cup. Linda's first son, Michael, is taking the McDavid. Lantern is taking the McDavid. Diamond is taking the MJ. Vintage is taking the MJ. So 2-2. Yitz is taking McDavid. Ali is taking McDavid. I'm biased, but McDavid is so dominant in the sport, maybe the most of current players. Dog Food Soup says, I thought hockey was on a court. If it's not on a court, how do they track the field goals? Mark is taking MJ. Shannick is taking Connor, as I like my Jordans in a Wizard uniform. Sundin says this one is tough. All right, let's go to the next one. We got 2 more, I think. 2 more, 1 more. Here's the last one, guys. It's a doozy. And here we go. PMG Green versus PMG Green. Original 97. John Elway versus a 2021 Tiger Woods. Both in BGS 758 grade. The grade's basically the same across the two. What are you guys doing? What are you taking? Linda said, didn't they make that same MJ card again in like 08?
They did.
It says, well, they did. It says one's a rookie RPA. The other is one of many nice auto patches of Jordan. I agree. I agree. That's why I'm taking the McDavid as well. But okay, Adam, which one are you taking here?
The Elway.
Why?
Because the Elway is from the original set.
Yeah, that's the reason, right? I think that's the reason. So I'm going to go see what these sold for.
I get somebody who takes the Tiger, though, because Tiger's so much more of an iconic athlete, and they're 50% less of the Tiger.
Elway sold for $45,600, and Tiger sold for what, like 19,800, I think it was, if I remember. Under 20, though, I believe. So again, Elway does $45,600, while Tiger sold for $16,800. Third of the price, basically. A third, almost just over a third of the price. Okay. What am I taking? I got to do sounds with my hands now. Maybe I'll solve the Rubik's Cube here while I'm thinking this one through. Oh boy, Adam. This one's tough because my heart says Tiger Woods. Like, he's the better athlete. He's an all-timer, right? He is the Tom Brady of golf. He's the Michael Jordan of golf. He's the Wayne Gretzky of golf. I can keep on going here. I also do not like the looks of that Elway card. He looks like, Babe Ruth looks like on his 48 Leaf card, like way overweight and out of place, It's just, I'm taking the Tiger. Even though I'm going athlete here over card, Adam. You're going set. I'm going Tiger. Let's go to the chat. All right. Lots of votes coming in here. Lantern's taking Tiger. Linda's first son, Michael, is taking Elway. LGC is taking Tiger. Vintage Cards is taking Elway. Prefer the original. Same with you, Adam. I also prefer the original. Ali is taking Elway. Kurt Renault is taking Elway. Mark is taking Tiger. Jason Newman taking Elway. Not a fan of retros. Yeah, that's fair. But I like the Gretzky retro. To me, that's an all-time iconic hockey card. So I'm a fan of some retros, I guess. They've just overdone it. Shannick, Tiger. Elway looks like he's hailing a hot dog vendor. Yeah, agree. Mark, same. Wish it wasn't a retro. Yeah. Vintage is taking the Elway. PSA 5. Hey, catch that.
And in a PSA 5, it may be worth significantly more than in a BGS 8 holder. Just being real.
Yeah. Or the same, right? Yeah. Dog Food says, I'm taking the Tiger, little known fact, but that's the photo from when he was teaching Ellen how to break a car window in an emergency using a golf club. Good joke, Kurt. Good joke, Chris. Kurt says, Tiger has had his share of personal issues that, in my opinion, has tarnished his name a bit. Yeah.
A lot of people want to distill the conversation down to the athlete, and if you do that, it's Tiger by a mile. But like, this is, by the way, I just looked it up. Do you know what years the Broncos won the Super Bowl?
No.
It's 98, 99. So that's if that's Fat Elway, it's still Fat Elway before he wins his Super Bowls, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah. No, that actually that helps. That there's a few things that are making me really question my call on Tiger. One is, the original set. It's just a nicer card. It's a better produced card. The fact that he won 2 Super Bowls right after, I like that too. I might be going backwards, guys. Again, I'm going to double back to Elway, I think, on this one. I'm not against Elway. Yeah, okay. Yit says the original. Diamond says Elway. Mark says ding. What does that mean? Don't know. And
one of us said something that he liked, I think.
Oh, yeah, it could be. The firm says Tiger Purple Employee Issue PMG is the better of these. He's saying the Tiger Employee from like 2013, I think, is better than the green one from 2021. I'm not going to disagree with that, actually, because I have from that same purple employee set that Tiger came from, I have the Hulk Hogan and the Mike Tyson in my collection. I want the Tiger. And I'd probably want the purple one too from 8 years earlier. Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that. I'm kind of with the firm on this too. Linda says, TBF, Elway won his Super Bowl. To be frank, won his Super Bowl in his last 2 seasons. That's cool. The firm says Elway is uncollectible, especially value. Well, oh God. Tyson. Yeah, the firm. Yeah, the Tyson's awesome. I have the Tyson in my collection. Okay, so it looks like it's kind of I think Elway wins, but it was closer than just an outright win there. Yeah. Interesting stuff here, everybody. Interesting stuff. I recently have gone through my collection and kind of ranked the cards inspired by Adam. And I'm just wondering where my purple PMGs fall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Art Ross? 6. The Hulk Hogan ranks 65th in my collection. And the Mike Tyson ranks 75th in my collection overall, based on how I valued them. So interesting.
Have you decided yet how you're going to roll that out? Because I'm excited for that.
Well, I haven't stopped. Like, I didn't stop at 100. I'm at card 700 right now. I'm basically using this exercise, Adam, to evaluate my whole collection.
What I've done every year, man. It's what I do every year. It's awesome. It's so good.
I'm 700 and something cards in, and the rest I've got about another, I've got other cards that I'm not going to put into my spreadsheet because they're just in my binder. They're binder cards. Some will be worth $100, but several will be worth under $10. So they're not even going to make it into the spreadsheet. But I've got another 800 to do, but a lot of them I don't need to, I can just kind of bunch them because they're, from these sets I collect, it's sort of thing. So I don't know if I'm going to do if I'm going to itemize 800 more cards or group some of them into batches for these purposes. But the other reason I'm doing it is insurance purposes. Like, this is going to become what I send to my collectibles insurance guy and say, here's my updated list. Let's update my policy and let's make sure that I'm properly covered. And the collection, I have an idea what it's worth. I'm not going to say it out loud, what I feel my collection is worth. And I've been conservative in evaluating the values of everything, but it's enough that I want to make sure that it's more than I thought. So I want to get it properly insured, basically.
It's amazing. Your collection, the number of $100 cards, $200, it just keeps going, right? Like every time you'll talk to me about like your hockey ultimate set and your, all the, like you're talking about the PMG employee set and stuff. You just have so many cards that are in the hundreds of dollars. And yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see, I don't think I'll be shocked at all to find out what you think that the collection is valued at.
Yeah, I just had a question. Someone asked me, Michael said, where's your 08 Gretzky Jambalaya ranked? I love that card and want one so bad. So it's in the 16th row. Each row has 11 cards. So 16 times 11 is 176, but then it's 176, 75, 74, 73. 172nd place is where I have the Gretzky Jambalaya.
And what's it worth?
I don't know if I valued it appropriately. Like, what's that card valued at nowadays? It's hard to put values on some of these cards.
What number did you put in?
I have it valued at 1,750 Canadian dollars. It's a PSA 8.
And what's the conversion right now?
Well, 17. I'm using 1.375.
So, but your point, you've got 170 cards worth more than 1,500 American dollars. Like that's
1,300. Yeah,
that's a huge amount, Jeremy.
Well, it's a couple $100,000.
And that's if all of them was $1,300. They're not all $1,300 bucks.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Adds up quick.
Let's see. Oh, LGC, don't underestimate the cost to sell. No. Well, first of all, I'm doing it for insurance purposes, really. Like, what are they worth to rank them? And then for insurance purposes. So, I mean, for insurance purposes, I don't really care about the cost to sell. I don't need to consider that. I'm not doing this to liquidate. I'm not selling my collection. But if I were to, and I did the math, I kind of did this earlier today. I took what I feel the collection's worth and I applied a percent. I basically said, what would I take for my whole collection right now? Like if I knew I was dying, let's say, what would I take for the whole collection right now? And I kind of got to, I'll tell you what the percentage was. 87.5% of my collection I was willing to take for it. Otherwise, send it to auction. Send it all to auction. That's what's in my like last will and testament. Sends my cards to auction.
It's a smart thing to have that set up. My family knows what to do with my cards if I go real quick. And honestly, like there's a couple cards that Aaron, my oldest, wants. But for the most part, I would send it to auction and give my family the, back cash that would be obviously pretty beneficial if I went.
Well, my kids are young enough right now that, I can assume they don't want any of it. Right. But, the next 20 years go by, my boy will be, he's 5 years old right now. So if he's 25 years old in 20 years and he takes an interest in the hobby, well, then I'm going to change it to be like, here, have it. Like it's eventually the money's going to go to you anyway. We'll see how our financial situation is. If that kind of money isn't going to be, well, it'll be life-changing. I have a feeling it's life-changing type money. But if money isn't an issue at that point in time, then say, hey, keep what you want, right? Or build a business around whatever you want to do. Same thing would go to my daughter. Gold Pop, $1 40 sold by, don't know what that means. The firm says Crankalicious is and was the number PSA set collector on the registry. Kinger, speaking of Crosby's, I won the 2012 Retro Stars Gold tonight. Nice little PC insert pickup. Congratulations. Very nice, Kinger. Good job. So, Adam, as for what I'm going to do with this ranking, the first thing I'm thinking of is like, so, for example, that Babe Ruth tonight, the Connor McDavid tonight, like perhaps I consolidate out of some of these cards. The problem is that a lot of my lower end cards that are valued like under $100, like cards, I don't know, number 200 to 700, like I don't want to sell them. Like I love them.
I know, but
love them.
So this is what. And I'm not going to say that I'm ahead of you on this because I'm not. I never had the depth that you have. A couple of years ago when I did it, my 100 ranked card was over $1,000, and I felt pretty proud of that. I think I had like 112 or 115 cards that were over $1,000 at one point. But at some point, I looked at it and I went, how much do I really care about all this little stuff? And that's when I got the Kobe logo mania, right? Which is the biggest card in my collection. Cause I moved all that stuff, Jeremy, all of it. Like stuff that I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that. If I don't really love it, I'm going to get rid of it. And that included stuff that was $100 and $200. And in the end, it created enough to go get like a grail of grail cards for me.
Yeah, I mean, I will consolidate out of a bunch of these cards because I'm just not, like in 20 years, maybe 5 years before I sell it all or, think I'm going to be done on Earth, I might do that. Who knows? I reserve the right to change my mind at any given time. I could change my mind tomorrow and I'm going to try to do that. I'm actually going to look through all my cards and say, if I wanted to go buy a card for $20,000 right now, can I find 20 grand worth of $200 cards?
Can.
I have the cards, but do I have as many as are there enough there that I'm willing to move out of? Because what is that? That's 50 cards I need to get out of or so.
It's $100 $200 cards is 20 grand.
A lot of cards to move into one card worth 20 grand. Can I find 100?
But that Ruth that you were looking at tonight that you loved so much, like.
But do I have 100? I mean, I have to love 100 cards, 1% of the amount I love the Ruth each. Or right? Like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it.
I'd look it over and say, do I love that? Do I love that? Because when you can change,
though.
I know, but like. So somebody said this in our early days doing this show. I can't remember who it was. They said every time you don't buy something you really want, you're making a choice still. And what they were trying to say was you always you look at what you have and what you don't have, and you should always be asking, if I could change what I have into this other thing that I don't have, would I do that? And I love that way of thinking about it. Like, look at your whole collection. If you take the stuff you don't have and you can trade it for this other thing that or if you take the things you do have and trade it for the things that you don't have, would you do it? And don't be held hostage by the fact that you've owned something for a long time or whatever. Just figure out what you want most. I think that's a good way to do it. Now, I'm not telling you to consolidate. I don't recommend it for the most part, but if you want to, and there's something big out there, dude, it's so fulfilling to go get that big thing and to clear out all that space. It is a pretty fulfilling thing.
It would be fun to, like, I'm looking at my top row, like my 11 most valuable cards, and it would be fun to, knock something out of that row to put something else in there, right? That would be fun. But you also, something that always stuck with me that you said when I talked to you about doing a top 100 card countdown, like you do it, every year or two, is that you said to me, if you're going to do it, you have to explain why the card's in your collection. What do you love about the card? And pretty much all my cards, I can tell that about. There's nothing in there that I have just because I have it. Every single card, down to even some 10 and I even have 2 $5 cards that made my spreadsheet, my ranking list here. Like card number, I've got 701. No, actually, I'm down to exactly 701 cards that I've done, and like the bottom 2 are $5 each. And then I got 4 at $10 and a few at 15, a few at 20, etc. And there's a reason for all these cards, even the $20 cards. There's a reason for them in my collection, and they're not cards I want to get rid of.
But you've said several times on this show today, I reserve the right to change my mind.
I do.
And if you ever get to the point,
sorry, not only do I want to change my mind, I want to not have 1,500 cards in my collection. I want to have fewer cards, but I'm looking at these low. Okay, there's some there that I can see myself get a bunch of $40 cards I can see myself getting out of,
But like, so again, if you look at it, and I'm not telling you should do this again, and this is for everybody else. There's so many. You like all your cards. You didn't buy them because you didn't like them. You didn't buy them to flip. You bought them because you like them. But then if you sit there and you go, like, let me just give you an example, okay? The Upper Deck employees, the PMG cards that you have 5 of them.
No, I 5 non-hockey.
Okay.
No, 2. I have Mike Tyson and Hulk Hogan, and they're my only Mike Tyson and Hulk Hogan cards.
And what is that? What are those 2 cards worth total?
Oh, you're gonna make me go look for them now out of
Just
700 cards in there.
Super estimate.
$6,000 maybe.
So when you look at those 2 cards and you say they're worth $6,000 or $8,000 or $5,000 or whatever they are.
Oh wait, I've got 4, 5, 6, 8,300 Canadian I have on them.
And then so like $7,000. And then you say, there's this best of the best, like you felt about your Babe Ruth PSA 1. One of those comes across your table and you look at it and you go, gosh, I have to have this card. Like the way that I always do it is I say, and again, nobody has to do it the way that I do it, just what works for me. I have to fund the cards that I'm buying with the cards that are already in my collection. I have to. It's the only way I've ever been able to make it work. I've never made a ton of money in my outside job to be able to just buy whatever I want. I have to sell stuff. So I'm always faced with making that decision. And a lot of times I'm able to look at cards that I thought to myself, I'm never going to sell that. And I'll say, I guess I got to move these because I have to have that other card. It just happens.
So I've yet to come across another card I have to have enough to move out of what I already have. The Babe Ruth card that you mentioned, I know what I paid for that card, but I value it at just over double what I paid for it. Like I literally think I could get a little over double what I paid for it if I were to get out of it. It's my favorite card in my whole collection, yet it comes in at value-wise 17th. Card number 17 value-wise in my collection, according to what I've done, but to me it's number 1. And there's a lot of cards like that, that are there's a big gap between value ranking and heart ranking.
I was going to start asking you all these other questions about rankings, but then what I realized is now don't share more than you want to, just in case you decide to roll these out one at a time, top 50, top 100, whatever it is. Because again, if you did a top 100 and you said, here's my number 100 card, here's what it is, here's why I love it, like I would read or listen to every one of those posts. I'm such a big proponent of like, this is going to, I like saying it this way. I say it this way to my family. I wouldn't say this way to like people in the hobby. Playing with your cards. I love playing with my cards. I love pulling my cards out, ranking things, putting things in order, making lists, making content about it. And I know it's off-putting to some people. I've heard people say, you just love talking about your own cards so much. And I've gotten that ever since I was a little kid. I like cards. I like them. I like doing the things with them. That's the fun thing about social media. And if you don't like it, you unfollow or you mute the person, and there's nothing wrong with doing that at all. But like, I'd love to hear every real collector who just loves this stuff. I'd love to always hear why they love it and then have them just say it. It's the best to read that sort of content. And we frankly don't have enough of it.
You've inspired me. I watched Patrick Ryan's reel on Instagram the other day of his top 100 cards, or I don't know if it's maybe it's not his top 100 cards. It's his 100 card box that is very well curated. And that's kind of, I've been inspired by these things to, maybe do a top, but the problem, you go by value. Patrick Ryan goes by meaning, what they mean to him and the history of the hobby and how the hobbies change over time. I've got too many cards that I just love to pick a top 100. Maybe I'll do top 250 or something like that. But I don't know how many people are going to unfollow me if I have to do that. And I don't know that I'll make it if I can be consistent enough to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to roll this out, Adam, or maybe I don't at all. I just don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll tell you one thing. I've kept all my cards in different boxes, like, vintage hockey, non-hockey vintage, cup, like auto patches, whatever it is. And in doing this, what I'm looking at when I'm looking out there is our scans. Like everything is scanned. So I've got them all ordered. I'm looking in my Windows Explorer at all the cards, and it's just fun. It's a different perspective to look at them all mixed up instead of, I know I got the Babe Ruth, and I know I got a couple of good Gretzky's, and I got a good Honus Wagner and a Mickey Mantle and a Jackie and all this, but it's really fun to just look at them all mixed up. And that's what ranking them by value does. I guess ranking them by favorites would do the same thing, but how do you rank them by favorites? Like you look at these top 100 top 75 basketball, top 100 hockey players of all time. Like,
can't do it.
You're telling me you considered 67 over 68 and 68?
No.
Like, at some point you just put them in there. Like, how do you even do? Well, you do by value. So
I do by value. And every time I do it, and I do it every year, I've done it every year for 6 years. There's 100 different reasons why it's super beneficial to look at your collection and go, man, for me, I consider myself a Kobe collector, right? And I love Kobe. Kobe is my favorite person to collect by a long shot, way even more than Jordan. I love collecting Kobe. But when I bought this LeBron a couple weeks ago, which will go right somewhere between 9 and 13 or 14 on my list, is his only standalone Heat era immaculate logo man. I mean, it's a big card, Jim. I'm selling some Kobe's, and it's like I can imagine some people are going to be like, "Oh, Adam's getting out of Kobe for LeBron." Well, that's not true. I'm not. But I did feel like I needed this LeBron more than the Kobe's that I'm moving. And
yeah, it's just so crazy that it even goes through your mind that people are going to say, "I'm Adam's." What cares what people say about what you're getting into or out of life?
It's definitely a character flaw. I think most of us, if we're honest, care somewhat about what people think.
You're right. My comment is more like that's just where today is with social media.
It
is on Instagram so much.
Well, we've done that to ourselves, and I mean, I'm the one who spent thousands of hours on my social media, so that's why. But my point, like back to my point, I collect Kobe. I wouldn't say I'm a LeBron collector. I own 2 LeBron James cards. Okay. I collect Kobe, but I was willing to get rid of some Kobe's because I had to have this LeBron card. And so that came out because as I looked at my top 100, I went, man, I love Kobe, but I think I've got too many Kobe's. And especially for me, my collection between like 11 and 20 was 50% Kobe cards. So able to get rid of a couple of those, add a LeBron that's even higher on the list and that I love. Like I love what it does for my collection. It is a LeBron that like even the biggest LeBron collectors, I can be like, oh, tell me about your Heat era logo man LeBron. And they're going to be like, I don't have one. And I'll be like, I do. Like I got this one and it's really great. It's like, I think it's the best one out there and it's mine and I feel great about it. Like I love that. I love that I'll be able to do that. Not just because I can show it to them and be like, look at this thing, but LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time. And that era of Heat basketball, the decision and all the things that went behind it, like I just love the card.
Well, Michael says, nice card, Adam. Diamond, beautiful card, Adam. The firm can't smell a slabbed card. No, you cannot. Mark's saying nice pickup. Justin Bode. Jeremy, I get. Hockey cards, I get it. That's why I love you, bro. Love you too, Justin. Thanks, buddy. It's been a viewer of Sports Cards Live since the beginning. The firm says if you don't like looking and touching your collection, you aren't a collector. Yeah, like playing with your cards. It's something that I tend to do around the Christmas holidays. Not every year, but I've been going back for the last like 20 years. Because what I would do is working in my job, I get those 10 days to 2 weeks off at Christmas time before I had a family, especially. And I would just use that time to organize my collection. And I started doing it probably back in like 2002 was I think when I remember first doing it. And I'm not saying I've done it every year because I haven't needed to. I'm pretty organized, but because I started doing this top 100 thing, and then it led me to, you know how many times I've started to evaluate my collection and I just give up because I have too many cards? Well, last year I sold a lot of cards. As you and many people know, I sold a lot of cards last year for personal reasons. And it's allowed. And I know now that less cards means more manageable. And so I'm now in a position where with about 50, only 1,500 cards that I feel like are spreadsheet worthy for me, I might get through all of it. I might. We'll see.
I love it. I forgot to say when I was talking about this process, and you just reminded me of it. You said earlier, I just don't know if I could rank 66 and 67 based on how much I like it. And this frustrates people. Every year I do it, I'll get, literally like 20, 30 people who will message me and say, what would be really cool? It'd be really cool is if you ranked your collection based on how much you like it. And I'm like, how do I do that? Like, I don't know how I do that. There's some cards, like I always say, my Larry Bird Eminence card, the 1/1 with the USA patch auto, my Jerry Sloan 1968 Topps Test, and there's a few other ones that are just like super random that people would go, oh, okay, I get why you really like that. Some of those would go really high, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But what doing what you're describing right now allows you to do, this is the biggest benefit from it from my perspective, and I could be totally different for you, Jeremy. You may have a totally different experience. But for me, when that big card comes like available and I look at it and I go, I've got to have that card. I've got to have it. Then I have a way to look back at my list and go, what on this list do I not need to have in my personal collection? What can I let go of most easily that's going to allow me to get that thing? And that's how this happens, right? Like that's how that happens.
So I made some last year when I sold a lot of cards. I made big decisions, but it was like I had to cut out segments of my collection, not just right. And it was hard, but I was forced into it, which made it easy. I'm not forced to, like, I don't need to buy something here I don't need money to buy something right now. There's nothing in life I'm trying to buy like I had to do last year at this time. So I've already cut out, and I don't know how many cards I sold last year, but it was a lot. Like, it was in the hundreds, and it, so I've taken that first swipe out of my collection. Yep. And it's going to be hard to do another one. It will be, but I'm going to try. Like, I want to be able to.
You don't want to do it so you can buy something. You just want to do it so you have room and cash.
No. I want a 41 play ball DiMaggio. I want a 33 Gaudy Lou Gehrig. There are cards I want to buy. I just think I'm going to use cash, like new money instead of selling cards to get it.
So why do you want to sell cards then?
Well, because I'd rather use cards money. I'd rather do it from my card collection. I just don't have faith in myself that I'm going to be able to do it.
Okay. So you have to get to that point where you're like, well, I really am going to do this.
And I'm also only a year out of slashing a big chunk of my collection. So I feel like I still feel that scar, Let's go to some comments though from the chat, something I want to get into here. Linda here says, I said it last week. I always take out some cards while watching sports cards live and play with them. I want you to do do that when you're watching any content, listening to a podcast, enjoy your cards. After this show, I'm probably going to sit right here in this chair, and I'm going to play with my cards, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I do it all the time. The firm says most OG collectors want to have the ability to touch their cards raw. I have no desire to do that. I spent my childhood touching raw cards, and nowadays my cards they're not raw anyway. They're in holders, and I don't have any desire to take them out of those. I like my patch collection, sleeve, top loader holder. I want my top loaders to remain clean. I have no desire to take those out. I don't need to touch the patches. So I hear people saying that. I think that's just like a way to make yourself feel better about not being into graded cards, or to prove you don't like graded. You don't need grading to grade your cards. But that just doesn't resonate with me at all. But hey, all the power to you. Go for it. Especially if you're genuine about it. Mark says, I just don't overhandle. I think that's very important for sure that you don't do that. Yeah, as the firm says, you can't smell a slab card. I don't need to smell my cards, guys. I don't know what this thing is with needing to smell your cards. Like, if I want to smell cards, I have cards I can smell. Some I don't need to smell my cards that are valuable, that I don't want the value to diminish. I just don't need them. I don't need to smell them personally. David G says, when I go to local predominantly baseball card shows, I also start to think about selling a bunch and putting it into a Ruth or a Gehrig, etc. Tough to get it out of your mind once it creeps in.
True. It's true.
I need like therapy on this sort of thing.
I will tell you this real quick, Jeremy. When I was I was just home from my mission. So this is like 2005. I looked at my collection that had been sitting there for 2 years while I'd been in England. And I'm like, what do I want to do with this? And I had like the greatest Andrei Kirilenko basketball card collection in the world. And I could go on about the story forever. But I made the decision that I wanted to buy one great card. And I thought, I put it on my mind, I put it on a Mikan. I was going to buy a 48 Mikan. It was going to be in somewhat decent shape. And then I was working at the card shop here locally at the time, House of Cards in Salt Lake, and a Mickey Mantle 51 Bowman walked in the door. That became the card, right?
Yeah.
And over the course of a couple months, I was able to figure out how to transform that part of my collection, massive part of my collection, into a Mantle 51 Bowman. Zero regrets. I just never had a regret in my mind about it, because what this guy just said, I forget who it is who you just read that comment of, that's exactly right. Once you get it in your mind that you might be able to get this amazing thing, for me at least, I've never sold the little stuff and regretted it that much. There's still times where I'm like, gosh, I wish I had that card, but I've never really regretted it for buying the big one. That's how I got my 2012 gold Kobe. That's how I got my 2012 gold Steph. Same thing.
Therapy right here. Yeah. I mean, I'll maybe I'll get there. The firm says, ask Carvin. He wants his exquisite and cup cards raw. So so I've got lots of cup cards in my collection, like tons, like hundreds, like literally probably 550 or so. And they're not all raw, because I've had to buy a couple I bought that have been graded that I'm not going to take out of the slab because it just doesn't make sense. But I've bought several and cracked them out of the slab. So yeah, I don't have any desire. Like here's one, for example, this card. This is raw. It's in a one touch. And the only reason this isn't a top loader, because I used to have this on display, but it's here now to put into my spreadsheet and stuff. I have no desire to get that graded at all. But vintage cards, I want my vintage cards slabbed. I just do. Nowadays, I do. Kinger says, I've been collecting the 2012 Fleer Retro Hockey Intimidation Nation PSA 10s recently found an Ovechkin PSA 10, and the pop is 6. Sets like this are hidden gems. Yeah, I got a couple from that set too. And yeah, if PSA 10's your thing for that, I mean, that's great. That's great. They are hidden gems too. I agree. And that's why some of them are hard to get rid of, because like I could move out of those cards. I got lots of Gretzky's and Ovechkins and McDavid's and that. I could get rid of my Intimidation Nations, but I freaking love them.
I know.
You know? Kinger says, Adam, didn't you mention recently something similar about the Kobe? It's also low pop. Well, I mean, you've got maybe talking about your shield or your logo man. The firm said, sure. Both of you have dope cards presented in your office, though. You are always looking at your cards. Yes, always. 2 groovy rooms for sure. I got, guys, this room here is like, it's the room I'm going to die in. I'll tell you that right now. Like it's a great room. You don't often get to see what's above. There's a whole other row of paintings. Look at that. Look at that up there. You never get to see that because it's too high. Now look, I'm over here, guys. Hi. But
the amount of time that I spend sitting in this chair working on the stuff that I want to work on, you know, because you guys know this, for Jeremy and I, this is what we do full time, right? We create content and we are paid by the places that we create content for to do that content. We're blessed to be able to do it. We're grateful to be able to do it. I spend way too much time sitting in this chair. There'll be times where I'll be like thinking about something, about this article that was written, and I'll literally, Jeremy, I'll reach over, I'll grab a copy of Basketball Card Fanatic, one of the hard copies. I'll open it. Sometimes I'll check the index first online. I'll go grab the issue off the shelf and I'll go through and I'll read it, and then I'll put it into the stuff. Like I'm always looking and researching and doing stuff in here. I'm either going through cards. I've got the remnants of a collection that I was helping with right over here. You can't see it as I knock over some empty cups. There's a collection over here. It's just cards all over, and I love it. It's wonderful, but it can get overwhelming at times too. It can. Definitely.
It can be. That's why it's nice to downsize sometimes. And like before I go to any card show, like not the monthly locals, but before I go set up the card show, I always go through and I try and find cards that I'm out of love with. And I generally find a few, you know, so it's a constant process going through and culling the collection. But to go find like $30,000 worth of cards that I want to sell, to go buy like a mid-grade Gehrig or DiMaggio that I want, like I'll just find a low-grade, nice eye appeal card eventually and part with fewer cards. But yeah, it's always in my mind. Let's see. The firm says every card I sold will be available again. It just seems like it won't often from a natural impatient. Oh yeah, like we are impatient. I get that, firm. I get that comment. Says Kinger, I bought the OV Intimidation Nation PSA 10 because of the same reason. They're gorgeous cards. Lantern says, well, I'm thankful you moved some cards. Finally got the 2015 Crosby Seismic Gold from you just over a year ago. Yeah, and I probably would have got more money for it if I sold it to you at the Edmonton Expo that day. But back then, I wasn't in the crunch I was in when I sold it. So I'm glad it went to you, man. I mean, honestly, you're the person I wanted it to go to, because I knew how badly you wanted that card. So I'm glad that you got it, and I'm glad that you got it, man. I really am. Mark says, I cannot speak for others, but when I say my cards are raw, I mean they're not slabbed, but they're always protected. That's okay. Got it, Mark. That makes sense. The firm says ownership transferred on Monday, January 8, 2012. Fleer Retro Intimidation Nation, #1, Alex Ovechkin. There you go. Stole it for $330. Yeah, I've got that same card in my. I'm not going to find it when I look through my, 700 cards in this album here, but I've got the Intimidation Nations as well. I don't know what grade mine is off the top of my head, but it's a great card. Firm says it's nice to just open the one touch and look. Agreed with all vintage and only PSA for the guarantee. Yeah, I mean, for me, vintage, it's I might have 2 or 3 SGC cards, and I don't know if I have a single Beckett graded vintage card. I don't think I do in my PC. Firm says I want the Crosby and Gretzky Intimidation Nations. I don't even collect hockey. Oh, you're referring to the Kobe. Firm, the 2 nicest content creators in the hobby. I call Jeremy the Mr. Rogers of the hobby. I don't know if I like that so much, but actually, I don't know if I qualify for that anymore. The Firm, you got to watch. The Saturday night show is taking a bit of a turn. By the way, this Saturday night, we got Ben Burrows will be coming on from Collect. He's joining the panel. We've got Greg Cohn, who's a VP at Leaf. He's been there for a long time. He's coming on. Leighton Sheldon is also coming back again. And we've got the Sports Card Cartel from Instagram is also coming on. It's a great mix. More to be added still as well. A card in the hand is worth 2 in the showcase. I showed you yours before. The Firm. Come on, Jeremy. I know everyone in the hobby. I don't know who you are, the Firm, by the Firm. I'm sure I know you, but I don't. Oh, you're saying I know everyone in the hobby, or you know everyone in the hobby? I'm not sure who you're talking about. I think you're talking about me. You are the guy I want as my hobby neighbor. Oh, David Kahana. That's who you are. Okay. It's always nice to know who you're talking to,
David, we don't know who you are. We both know you, but we didn't know from the Firm.
Until right now. Thorson says you're going to have the staff and management of Thorson Collectibles too, right? You're going to have the staff and management of Thorson Collectibles. What's he talking about?
You're gonna have to clarify for us, Thorson. I don't know either.
Don't know what you're referring to there, bud. But I met Thorson at the expo. Good dude. Super good dude. Super friendly. It was great to meet you, man.
Jeremy, I think we better call it.
Yeah, we're gonna call. We still have 97 people though. That's the crazy thing, Adam.
They're waiting for our other would you rather's. Should we do those real quick?
No, we there are no more. That was all of it.
We did them.
We did them
fast. Good job.
We did them. Yeah. We finished off with this one right here. That was it.
Very good.
Good night, David Kahana. Okay, we're gonna wrap up, guys. Yeah, this was after hours. Well, this was after hours because this show could have ended an hour. The auction ended an hour ago, but we've kept on going, guys. Justin Bo. These comments are good though. My cards mark a period of time in my life in many different ways. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Justin. Same here. Like Michael says, "Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks." So, yeah, guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, all that to everybody. Adam?
I just was going to say, always want to give thanks to Fanatics Collect. Fanatics Collect has basically told us, guys, just talk about the cards, say what you think. And so you hear Jeremy and I say positive things. We say what we don't like about the cards. And having that freedom on a show like this is awesome. Grateful for them and for their support for us to do this. And Jeremy, we've been doing this for almost 4 years.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, let's not say that too much because when it gets to 4 years, it'll feel like, we've been talking about it. So, but yeah, we're almost at 4 years doing this show, which is really cool. And yeah, like Adam said, and I never want to pretend to like a card. Right. There's nothing more important to me than the authenticity that I exude by talking about cards. So even though Fanatics does, pay for we are both compensated by Fanatics financially, and that's not enough to let me sit to make me try to talk up a card that doesn't deserve talking up. So
can't do it.
I will poop all over a card if I don't like it. And you've heard me do it over and over again. If I love a card, I'm going to tell you I love the card.
The authenticity is so important. It's so important because you can feel it when you say, like, I love this card and hear why. Just the authenticity is so important there. So I would say, I mean, in a show. Sorry, go ahead.
I hate interrupting you, but before I forget, I just want to say, like, even with Gretzky's, I don't want to sit here and say, don't buy that card. I've done it before. I've said, guys, don't buy this card. And I will in an extreme circumstance. I will say, don't buy this card. But if you ever hear me say, if you need it for your PSA set registry, that's me telling you it's a card not to buy. because to me, the PSA set registry, competing on it is not a good enough reason to buy a card for me. So I'm going to project my personal habits out there at times. But, there are people who can sign their cards to Fanatics, and they must hate me when I say, don't buy this card, or this card is, way overgraded. But too bad for them. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to BS you about it, but I will sometimes temper it a little bit because I do feel bad for those guys. But you guys have heard me crap on cards. And I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm just not going to if I really, because you guys come first to me. The audience comes first.
I admire that a lot. I will say I don't do that. For those people who've been watching, I don't do that very often. What I like to do is I like to look at a card and sort of put my hat on that fits who that card fits. And so when I say the registry thing, like, I don't think, like, what you just said, you didn't say people who are just competing on the registry are dumb collectors. You didn't say that, and you don't think that. But some people do think that. I don't. I think we all have our own ways of collecting. We all do it our own way. And I've some of my best friends in this hobby collect things that are like totally different sports than me, or different things that I just don't care about. And I collect things that they don't care about. We can all collect whatever we want, however we want, and care about the things that we want, because what's proven over time is that we don't know what's going to increase in value, and we don't know what's going to bring you joy as a collector other than collecting what you want to collect, right? So every card that pops up across the screen, I look at it and I say, why would someone love that? And then I say, here's why someone would love that. But I'm also quick to tell you guys, here, that's like tonight, the Kobe Sky's the Limit. I freaking love that card, man. The two big Utah Jazz cards, I love those cards. And I talked about why. And you guys know that I bid on those 3 cards. So that's how I think we should do it.
Yeah. No. All makes sense to me. Thorson before we go, wants my Stanley Cup Finals prediction. You're talking about June. We're in December. So hard to predict, but at this point, I'm going to go same as last year, Florida versus Edmonton. That's my call. That's my call right now. Right now, I think Edmonton's about to go on a run. I think they've woken up. Zach Hyman is back. That's you, back. Like he's back, and he's like playing lights out right now. I'm going to go with them. And Florida, I just think is too good. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay. Well, let's wrap up, Adam. Thank you. Fun chat, guys. Come check out Sports Cards Live this Saturday. You guys, going to be a great show. We're going to go from 10 o'clock Eastern till 1 a.m. Eastern. That is 7 to 10 Pacific, 3 hours. But we have different guests rotating in and out. It's Sports Cards Live is now 2.0. It's different than it's ever been. The first 250 episodes were one way. Now we're going a different way. It's a new format, guys. Come check it out. I just think it's a lot better than it ever was, in my opinion. I'm getting tons of great feedback on it. Every day people are writing me and saying, love. One guy wrote, I got to read you this. I'm going to read you this comment, Adam, and I promise we're going to wrap up. Hopefully I can find it pretty quick here, because it was just really nice to receive. But what did he say? Am I going to find it? Here it is. Hey, Jeremy, hope you are doing well. He says some other stuff unrelated. As for SCL, I have watched since day one, and this SCL 2.0 is much, much better. Not that the old shows were bad, but this roundtable type show is so educational and entertaining at the same time. I can't wait for every Saturday night. I can't wait for every Saturday. That was just so nice to hear.
I wish I had time to watch every one of them, Jeremy. I would. The ones that I've watched, I've been like, this is so good. It's more to have that many different opinions happening at the same time that are that educated. Like, and a lot of times there's people who have been on the show where I've been like, I disagree with you, but I love it. I love it. I love when it's like I always talk about with Dave Ratliff, my friend Signed and Slabbed. Like, I disagree with Dave so much. I love Dave. I do. He and I like completely don't see eye to eye on so many different things, but like, I love his take. I love his perspective. It always makes me better. And that's how it should be.
He's been on the new format twice now. The thing, there are a lot of shows out there that have these panel discussions, but what makes the new SCL different than anything else out there is that it's not the same 3 or 4 guys that have been sitting in front of you for 3 or 4 years. It's a different mix every show. And that's something that I don't think anyone else has been doing. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it should be.
And it changes throughout the night. Sometimes you'll have new guys coming in, and
well, I do. No, it does change throughout the night. It changes throughout the night. It's a 3-hour show. Nobody's on for longer than maybe an hour 15 at the most.
Awesome.
I'm trying to keep it to about an hour each with overlapping. So somebody comes on, then someone else comes on, then this guy leaves and this guy comes on, then this guy leaves and this guy comes on. So it's been really fun that way. Okay, that's great. That's great. Check out the Basketball Card Podcast, BCF Mag. There we go. All right, Adam. Thank you as always. Great auction tonight. Lots of great cards. That was fun. Thanks to the chat. The after hours portion was just as fun as the original. Guys, we're done. That's it. Have a great Friday tomorrow. Hopefully we see you Saturday night here in the chat on the channel. But this episode of the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction Extended Bidding Watch Party on December the 19th, 2024, on behalf of the Real 27 guy and JLee _Sports Cards Live. Good night, everybody. This episode is now over.